Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dead Winter, Issue 3, The Golden Touch. Tonight I have my same cast and crew of newly anointed combat veterans, I guess, as they have swung out of two windows now. We have, oh wait, the captions are wrong, cool. We have Alex playing Victor Belmont. We have Anna playing Aviva Cohen. We have Sam playing Katya Orlov. We have Cindy playing Nora Brooks. Right now I mixed it up.
No,
Kira Davis. Yep. And we have Nevi playing Nora Brooks. I need to fix the layout real quick, and then we'll get into it. So tonight, Anna is going to do our in-character recap for us.
Yes, and just to, out of character real quick address, these are the golem glyphs that are on my forehead in case people are wondering why I didn't wash my face before the stream. But no, it's just like a low-key character cosplay. All right, here's the recap. Another day, another dead body. So the crew went back to the pub to investigate Lenore's office located in the basement after her untimely demise. Everybody seemed pretty detail-oriented, so we were able to find all sorts of clues leading to the Ambrosia Club, the Barlow City Museum auction, and Lenore's home address. We also discovered a coat and umbrella hanging on a hat stand, still wet from the rain. Half of the crew went over to Lenore's office at Ken Recalla, the university. We learned that Nora believes that vampires ruin the beauty of death, but she lovely created a black rose to add to the memorial of our beloved professor. After doing some investigation, she and Victor discovered fingerprints leading out of the window to Lenore's office, as if someone had exited by popping out the screen. Page 2. They discovered an open but empty safe in the closet, and Victor used his occult sensibilities to discover that there was an argument, and it had ended with somebody removing items from the safe. They ended their investigation by jumping out of a window because Victor never stays on the third floor of a building for very long. The rest of the crew went to go investigate Lenore's house at 6245 Sycamore, and we found a very nice, wealthy, tasteful brownstone, and there was a weird nerd guy inside of the house named Arlo, claiming to be Lenore's brother that had recently gotten back in touch just before her death. We heard him muttering to somebody that they needed to go downstairs, and so, names. Kira decided to go around the back of the house to catch somebody who was from the Golden Jackals trying to escape out the back. She decided to pose as someone trying to gain admittance to the gang and was able to get his phone number, and he asked her to maybe join the gang or get into contact with them later. Katya and Aviva spent some time investigating the office, and we realized that Lenore had a lot of sort of shitty gold replicas of artifacts and a lot of mentions to something that was called the Golden Ankh. So after the crew did their respective investigations in separate locations, we met up at the Ambrosia Club in downtown, which was a sort of rave/jazz club/casino type place where we ran into this guy named Brock Beckett, who was really annoying, but everything he touched turned to gold. We ended up fighting him and a couple of Jackal goons, and Aviva had her great transformation into the golem sequence and smashed a golden statue on Brock's head. At that point, Victor had been on the third floor for long enough that we decided that it was time to leave, and we heard police sirens showing up in the distance with us, sort of in the detritus of the room that we had destroyed, and some drugs that Brock had sort of spread all over his face. And that is where we left off.
Great, thank you so much. So you all swing down into the alleyway, and it kind of off the fire escape, and it's kind of creaking and rattling under you all as you continue forward. The first thing that you see is police sirens in the distance. You can see over some of the smaller buildings, because this is one of the larger ones in this block. You see the red and blue lights kind of shining and racing through the streets a few blocks down from you as you kind of all rush down together. Then I will turn it over to you. What would you all like to do at this point?
So, one quick thing. I understand that, like, consumerism is a thing, and no one really owns anything, but I do have this gun, and I'd rather not have it. What do I do?
Victor just extends a hand. Give it here.
Okay.
Just give it to Victor. Throw it away. Throw it away.
No, it has
No,
my
don't throw it
fingerprints!
away. It's got fingerprints.
Give me the gun.
Throw it away. Just throw it. Just
Ah! Siblings!
no. Just throw it. Just throw it. Okay.
Oh, fine, but one losing my dad! Okay, I passed him the gun.
So I'll
Tia's just watching you guys like wave past this gun around, like with a bullet wound in her arm, like just dead staring, like.
All right, and I'm like, making sure safety's on. I'm not gonna let Chris have this gun go off in my pants.
Oh no.
New band-aid.
So I'm turning safety on. I'm gonna, holster the gun, makeshift style, and then I'm gonna turn to Katya and be like, "Are you all right?"
That fucker shot me!
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see that.
Okay, we need to get to the hospital, and we need to get we need to get
Oh,
away.
we need to get
from the
out of
hospital.
here! Know about that. I
Let's-
don't think it's that serious. It's
Here,
just
just let me
like
take.
a graze if I were to rate it.
Look, just let me
got
take a quick look
shot!
at it and
got
maybe
shot!
pass
Okay,
it on
not
to
here. Now is not the time. Let's
Maybe
just
we
get
should-
out of here. And
Yes, why don't we have Victor take care of Katya in the back of the car? I can drive us to some place. We can get to a place, just sort of catch our breath, recuperate, not have to deal with the authorities just because that would
Oh,
get complicated.
There's a really nice graveyard about like 10 blocks from here. We could go there.
She's not dying.
we can go to my apartment.
All right, perfect. Let me just get the address from you and I'll plug it into the non-proprietary
Gaps.
license map app on
Google
my phone.
Maps.
Google Maps.
Google Maps.
Google gaps.
Google Gaps, exactly.
Schmoogle gaps.
Yeah. So we'll make our way to my car. I'm just
drive.
Okay, you all jump in the car just as the police kind of pull up, but it doesn't look too suspicious as there's a lot of cars leaving this place at this time.
Yeah.
The night's
It's like
kind of
that part
winding
in
down.
Drive.
Yeah, everybody splits up.
the cops are here.
Everyone's like leaving the building too, because
mhm, there was a gun.
yes,
so
there was.
There.
Well, there currently isn't. One's a black flower, and the other one's
True.
with Victor.
Oh
Fire
yeah.
alarm? Or did we just talk about it?
I talked about pulling it, but I guess we didn't have time to before we left because you got shot, and like that's priority number one.
I love the things you get to say in a
Yes.
tabletop game.
There is
So,
one tense moment as you're all driving to Katya's apartment. There's a few police cars coming towards you, lights blazing, and who's ever driving just plays it cool and just slow. Yep, Aviva just plays it cool and slowly
Nice
drives by.
While we're driving, I want to see if I can patch up Katya in the back of the car.
Okay. I kind of forgot how to run this game. Let's make a
Woof.
change the game check.
Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna call out my tags here. Most of them are probably gonna come from Healer of Man. So I want to use Medkit because I always have one with me.
My handy med kit.
Because I'm a doctor. Level-headed. We're kind of under pressure right now. And let's use string of letters because I'm an MD.
Go for it.
Ooh. 8. Ooh,
That is a success.
hardly.
So you patch up the wound. The bleeding stops a little bit. It wasn't super serious anyways. You think she would have been okay. But it is good to, stop that blood flow. Katya, you feel a little bit better knowing that somebody has actually looked at your gunshot wound, even if it wasn't
Alright.
super serious.
Good to know. I mean, he's some kind of doctor, so.
I am a medical doctor. I am able to examine it. There's no bullet in there. As Katya said, it's just a graze.
Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, imagine if we had to actually go somewhere and have to explain that we were in a gunfight.
We'd figure something out, but
Yeah.
glad we don't.
Look, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I've never gotten into a gunfight with the owner of a bar.
No.
Well, he's...
I don't like how you had to emphasize a gunfight with the owner of a bar. Have you been in a gunfight
There
everywhere
was
else?
a bit of a specification there.
It was very specific, almost
Excuse
like
me?
How many gunfights have you been in, Victor?
Well, if you count paintballing one.
We don't.
We
no,
Not paintballing.
no lethal
0.
weapons. Okay.
Well, you get one now.
All right, I guess I get. Everyone else is okay with this.
I wouldn't consider myself to have been in a gunfight though, because technically all I did was break a statue on someone's head. That gunfight would imply that I was also armed with a firearm, and I wasn't. Just kind of
I mean, that was very impressive.
had a
though.
moment there.
Yeah.
Yeah, how many people can say they've been shot at by King Midas?
Oh my god.
Well,
Oh my
5
God.
now.
I'm still freaking out. Okay, let's just focus on getting her to the apartment, and then we can talk about it later. Oh my god, I don't think that has anyone have like healing things? I don't know what your magic does.
Points at Katya.
No, not really.
What? I don't really do that.
Okay.
I can
Okay.
try and patch you up if you're injured.
If I don't know, like I don't know if I have to amputate her arm, and I don't know how you guys are so chill about this because
My
this
arm
is not
is
chill.
like, I mean, not fine, but it's fine. And I'm just like,
Not gonna get gangrene. This isn't 1865.
I just lift my like sort of shaky hand off of the steering wheel as we're stopped at a red light, and I'm like, does this look like I'm fine? I'm holding it together. Just wait until we get to the apartment.
do you
You
need
want
to
someone-
drive?
No. It's fine. Just like getting through this on adrenaline. I know the crash will come eventually, but
Flips open the box of cigarettes, offers it to the whole car.
Oh, I take one.
yeah, you know what? Give it here.
Kira just like grabs her, so, like she just grabs the box. Give me.
I'm just
Our
gonna
horrible
look to Nora and
influences.
be like, you're under 21, but you are over 18, right?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
I can smoke if
Yeah.
I wanted to.
Don't give her a cigarette. Smoking kills. Don't smoke.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
she has
I
such
was
a
just
terrible
saying, like, I'm
habit.
not gonna stop her. I'm just saying, like, it would be weird if I was just like, hey, you're like, what, in high school? And I'm like, hey, kid.
Do you want to smoke?
Yeah,
Don't
like,
give
I
her
don't-
cigarettes. If Nora grabs her, she's just gonna yank it out of her hands and
I'm
throw it out the
not-
car
I'm
window.
not gonna-
Smoking kills. Smoking is bad for you.
It's
I-
very
Kira, are you
good.
okay? Kira,
I don't know if I'm okay. I don't know. Someone died. I don't know. Someone died. And
It's at
because you
this
were
point.
pretty badass when you were just like slashing drugs in people's face.
It's
And
at
now
this
you're-
point
I didn't know.
when
The
a cop
narrative-
light flicks on behind you
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
All
Oh my god. Oh my
shit.
god. Oh my
no.
god.
and pulls and is clearly indicating to pull you over.
Can't
Okay.
pull over. We can't pull over.
Everybody, just stay calm. Let me do the talking.
It's fine. It's my car.
Yep.
Viva is our designated driver. Everybody, shut up. I'm an attorney.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll pull
We're gonna
over
go to jail.
just very calmly and get my, my license out, because that's what cops always ask for when you get pulled over.
Sure. So, a tall, slender woman walks up. Got the classic police uniform, no hat because they're tacky. But the Barlow City police uniform walks up. She's kind of holding her belt, as cops do when they approach your car. She's like, "Hi, evening. You guys okay?"
Hi, officer. Yep, just getting my friends home.
I
Just
noticed.
fine, just fine.
Noticed you dropped a few things of trash out the window back there. Just checking on you.
Oh, who did that? You guys, littering's not cool. I mean, you really just gotta keep it together back there. I know that you went really hard tonight, but seriously, littering?
I mean, actually, that is pretty unacceptable, everybody. I mean, seriously.
I'm disappointed in you all. You were so responsible that you got me to be your DD, yet you couldn't be bothered to pick up after yourself. I mean, really. I'm so sorry, ma'am. It won't happen again.
Well, just make sure that you get this group home, I guess. And she kind of pats the edge of the window. And she's like, all right, have a good one. And she's clearly walking back to go pick up the cigarettes that have been thrown out the window.
Wait a minute. Does she have a mythos?
She does not. I do like how
Every single time
Does she have a
have a mythos.
Does she? Does she?
Brilliant.
So, is she special?
Hi, sorry about that.
Sorry, I'm new in town.
There's one town.
There's one town.
We don't know that. We believe there's other towns.
It's out of town.
I'm very small and I have no money, so you can imagine the kind of stress I'm under. Yep, keep driving.
Cool.
Yes, let's get out of here.
Just thought I'd freak you all out for fun.
Thanks.
Thanks, Chris. You're the best.
Yep.
Definitely been stopped by enough people just trying to fill up their ticket quotas by the end of the month. And I was like, okay, we can handle this. It's fine.
I get out of all of my tickets because I'm a county employee.
Yeah.
Nice. I knew there were perks. Okay, so you continue on.
Perks of the job.
You get to Katya's house. If you want to describe the exterior, Katya, you can. If not, we'll skip over it.
I mean, sure. Katya lives just actually in a very nice apartment building. Like a sort of, I don't know really how the town architecture is like, but I imagine, she's a nice, well-paid attorney. She lives in like a large kind of high-rise, like condo deal. So it's just like very modern, total gentrification. Like, no real aesthetic taste in the apartment itself.
You hate to see it.
Kind of, yeah. And that's just, the outside. Once we get inside, you can see, like, her apartment is really simple and kind of minimally furnished. But there's a lot of plants, and there's a really large bird cage with, like, a bunch of parakeets in it in, like, a corner. And there's a large, pristine-looking fireplace that has probably never been used, and there's sort of like a spot that those of you who have seen and noticed Yorick realize probably fits. He would fit perfectly right there on the mantelpiece.
I have not got to see Yorick yet.
All right.
That's gonna be fun.
Well, you will, because once we get home, the first thing Katya does is pull him out of her bag and stick him on the mantelpiece, and it's just like, thanks for the fucking help! And goes to, like, get a drink from a bar.
Who is this little cutie?
Oh no.
Did you
That's
kill a guy?
Yorick.
Is that his skull? Did you kill a guy?
No, didn't you see, weren't you in the car earlier?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but like, still, like, kind of forgot about it with all the drugs and the killing and the
Yes.
eating. And
No, I did not kill a man to take his skull. I got it at a freaking flea market. What is wrong with you?
Wait, what flea market? I want to go.
We're not allowed to go. Stop.
It's at this point you probably hear the glass bottles clattering in the fridge as Victor's trying to help himself to a beer, and it's been totally busted.
I'll just like look over to Victor and be like, grab one for Kira. She's got something stronger. And I'm gonna be like, hey, just take a seat. It's gonna be okay. I know this is a really rattling experience. I'm feeling it too. But you gotta just breathe. It's gonna be all right. I'm just sort of like pat Kira on the back a little bit, try and like get her to take a seat and just like stay calm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you're
she's-
doing. Oh,
You
sorry,
got
go
a
ahead.
plastic bag or something, because I'm like freaking out here. I can't.
It's at this point I'm walking over the beer, handing it over. Look, you'll be fine. We're all obviously some sort of special, so I think we'll be okay. Very unconfidently.
I mean, yeah, but there's cameras in that club, isn't there? And the bouncer knew our faces, and like, are we gonna go to jail? And I'm gonna have to like go into hiding, and
We're
I
not
don't
going
know.
to jail.
When you do stuff that kind of like leans into that special thing, you know? Things have a way of working themselves out so it doesn't seem super obvious. It's happened before with me, and then I tried to talk to people about it after the fact, and nobody really remembered it the same way that I did.
I'm so glad you guys are way more experienced at this than I am. I don't even
I mean, moderately more experienced by like, this has happened once before in my life, and people just sort of were like, oh, you wrote it off as me getting suspended from school for fighting, but nobody remembered the giant, like, trunk arms of punching and kicking. And
Who'd you punch?
just
It
some
doesn't
kid.
change the
It
fact
was
that,
a
you know,
while
like
ago.
there's like 2, 3 drugged out unconscious people and we broke windows and stuff like that.
Yes, 2 or 3 unconscious drugged out people in a den of drugs, and you know,
Yeah,
I mean,
there-
something tells me that is not going to be the police's first trip to
On the
our
seedy
friend
side.
Brock.
I'm pretty sure. there was
Honestly,
a
they'll
raid-
probably just think they called because he OD'd.
Perhaps.
Maybe.
Aviva, what was that?
Oh no, I was just saying that, like, probably, yeah, I'm pretty sure there was a rave going on downstairs too, so I don't think we have too much to worry about if we just keep a low profile and, you know,
I mean-
don't do things like throw guns into the street, because that's a terrible idea.
I didn't. I still got it. I pulled
I
out.
was
Yep.
never gonna throw it in the street.
It was a
In the
good
street, I
idea.
meant like the dumpster or,
Now we
or
can
something.
dispose of it in a safe way instead of just having it circulate around, you know, the wherever.
MC, what kind of gun is this?
A handgun.
Alright, I'm looking at it and I'm like, it'd be such a shame to put such a nice 1911 to waste, though.
Sure.
If you say so, Victor, that's not really my thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold on to it. I'll add it to my magic arsenal.
Okay.
Nice.
Keep it.
I'm probably gonna like embed a crucifix on the grip.
Dope.
Call it the
Classic.
short sword or something, or call it wooden stake. There we go. I'll
Oh,
call it wooden
Oh
stake.
my god, yes.
I'm gonna
yes.
make wooden bullets for it.
You can
love
also add that tag to your sheet.
Nice.
Yes!
Yeah.
Yes!
Clutch.
Yes, King.
Did we
Yeah.
disinfect Katya's gunshot wound at all? Was that
Yeah.
part of the first aid? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Just making sure, because I'm like, I don't want to add, you know, like gangrenous limbs to our tags either. Like, that just sounds like
We do
A
have
game
to
that-
amputate. Kira told you so, alright? Just
a
saying.
game that none of us wants to play is the game of infection, okay? Just
Hospital
saying.
sim.
Not sure if this is City of Mr. Operation.
Right.
So anyway, Victor's like, you know, looking at the gun like, yeah, I'm gonna mod the shit out of this with my occult stuff later. And then he just kind of sits up and, so Aviva, you mentioned you've been through something similar before with your, shall we just call them powers? Let's just call them what they are.
Yeah, it sounds so cheesy, but it's true. Yeah.
Abilities,
um,
maybe? I don't know. Magic fancy stuff.
Well, it definitely sounds better than calling myself special. Like, I don't like that, how that sounds. Yeah, this has happened before to me once or twice. Didn't really know what it was at first, but
Yeah,
then
it's confusing. And then do you like feel like you just kind of zone out and someone else is kind of behind the wheel? Because that's what I feel.
it's more like I get into this zone where everything just becomes a little bit more clear and a little bit more focused. And it's like, okay, it's like usually I second guess everything that I do. When I'm like that, it's like I know exactly what I need to do.
Oh.
And I need to, you know, get in between somebody that needs protection and whatever it is that's causing the threat.
That's strange, because
Yeah.
for me it feels like it's not me behind the wheel, so to say. It's as if, I don't know, someone much more capable and strong is in control. Much more agile too. I was never an athletic guy, let me tell you.
I mean, from what we've seen, I'm not sure if you still are.
Fair enough.
I will remember this.
So everybody here can do some kind of magic. What do y'all know about what you can do?
Well, I got most of my info from Margot, who runs a conspiracy blog.
Ha. That explains a lot.
This tracks.
Yep.
God, that drivel. Ugh.
Hey, Margot's really cool, and I would 100% believe her theory about the leprechauns and the 1867 war. It makes 100% sense. I'm here for it.
No, her post about vampires was the one that drove me away because it was absolute trash and not true. How many vampires has Margot ran into? 0.
Oh,
How many
really?
have I ran into?
Really?
11. Yes.
Oh, okay, you know what? I gotta message Margot right now and ask her about how many vampires she ran into, because I'm sure it was more than your lousy 11.
Okay.
Anyway. Yanni is just sipping on like a cocktail, like watching this.
Let the kids play.
Pretty much.
Yeah, Aviva's totally not surprised to find out that Victor is reading all of the blogs he professes to be so disdainful of. It's like, okay, yeah.
He's the kind who would ironically like something.
Yeah.
Oh god,
I just need to see what they're saying.
Yes. We know the types.
I'm also texting Margot trying to look cool, like, yeah, I got shot at today. Like,
No, for me, it was really my grandma that like helped put everything into perspective, and like she knows all of these old like fairy tales and legends and stuff like that, and so she was the one that helped me put 2 and 2 together. You know, she doesn't have magic or powers or anything. She just knows a lot about like folklore and history and whatnot. And she used to tell this story about this giant, you know, clay creature that would protect, you know, like our people in ancient times or whatever. And there's all kinds of stories about it. And that seems to be the closest I can get.
so you guys are like really clear on what yours is then and everything, huh?
I mean, what it is, yeah. What it means, not so much. What about you, Kira?
I don't really know. I think mine's some kind of knife-wielding superhero or something. For the first half of it, I just use it to get around work. I don't have to take the subway. That's kind of nice all the time.
Huh.
And the other half, I don't know. I mean, I've been in sticky situations before, but I just wind up back in my apartment at some point, and nothing really happens. So I think it's all fine. So it's kind of some knife-wielding vigilante, I guess. Gets me home safe, at least.
And you are really fast and stealthy too, like sneaking up behind those people that we were fighting. They literally
apparently.
never saw it coming.
Yeah, it's either that or some kind of, you know, historical mugger of some sort. But I hadn't woken up or come out of it in a like surrounded by stolen wallets. So far so good.
So you don't have control?
I have kind of. I think so. I think I have control. I just don't remember if I have control of it. I'm sure it's fine though.
So kind of like what I was saying, where you feel like you're there, but not.
Yeah.
Wait, so Lenore never, because Aviva's grandmother, the one who clued her in on everything, for me that was Lenore.
Lenore actually talks to you about it?
Really?
And he kind of gets sad. Remember, Lenore's been like dead for like a day.
Yeah.
He just kind of gets really, well, I was in college when I, finally decided to ask what the hell was going on with me, and, why my roommate kind of looked weird to me and like gave off strange auras. And, and so I approached Lenore about it because it seemed like something she'd be open to. Literature professor, myths and stuff. And she was the one who told me to read Dracula. And that's kind of what opened my eyes to what was really going on around me.
Wait.
And then I learned my roommate was a vampire.
Oh, okay.
Well, at least
I was gonna
Twilight.
say, so you are the Dracula, but that
No.
Yeah,
mean.
I was like, was your roommate giving off weird vibes? Like, oh, he's super delicious. I should totally like chomp
some
on
mixed
his.
signals there.
Yeah.
Did you kill your roommate, Victor?
No, my roommate and I are still best friends. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay, but I thought like the whole okay. I thought you're supposed to, kill the whole shebang and your mortal enemies and shit like that.
Yeah, like a
No.
vampire hunter.
I mean, you don't have to. One of my friends is kind of would have to kidnap me technically, maybe if you follow the myth. But it's confusing because I'm not even sure which one I am. So it depends. Myths are weird. They don't have to.
We all need therapy.
What do you
We all
mean?
need therapy.
Which one
I mean,
you are?
speak for yourselves and say drinking my life.
Maybe
Mine's-
if I ever get out of school.
Mine's based on like a weird old fairy tale. It's like, and there's two girls, right? And one of them, she's just like really nice and whatever, and she gives up her cake so happy, and then she gets kidnapped and marries a king, and it's like really boring. But then the other one's just kind of like, I'm lazy and I don't want to help anyone ever, and she's just like a terrible person, and she just ends up a beggar in the end. But like, depending on what I do, the powers switch to relate to one of the girls, and I can't pronounce their names because it's Italian and weird. So I've been just calling them A and B in my head. So I'm not even sure who I've only had this for like a month. It's confusing.
Yeah, you can say that again.
But yeah, mine's like two people fighting. Grr.
Is it like you can control which one of them
Yeah,
or
yeah,
the power
no.
you use?
Yeah, totally. So if I'm doing something for myself, like I can create a dead weed or something. But if I wanted to give you a flower, I can make you a flower. It just varies on if what I'm doing is for me or if it's for other people.
Huh.
That's a lot of extra rules.
Stay away from my plants. Just, I put a lot of time into those. Kind of a new hobby.
I mostly create new things. I've never tried to interact with something that was already there.
Well, don't try it in my apartment.
I know. Won't touch your flowers.
Okay, so point being is that we're all a bunch of weirdos, and we're just a bunch of mishmash of random stuff all put together, and our friend Lenore is dead, and I don't know if we can even do anything about it.
I mean, I do find it really interesting that Lenore reached out to all of us like that. I mean, as far as I could tell, she didn't have any abilities of her own.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I mean,
I can't
never
really
talked
tell.
to her about it, so I don't know how she would know I had any.
She does seem to collect mytho people, though. Like, she had us all hang out. She got us all together.
But why would she do that if she wasn't, like one of us?
Well,
Usually people that don't have powers can't like figure out what's really going on. It's like their memories. I mean, they don't like have amnesia or whatever, but they just remember what we do different than how we remember it.
Her
Maybe she
brother had
Her
an aura
Oh.
about him, so perhaps
He's part of the
somehow
Jackals
she's-
too. I totally forgot about that.
Okay, Kira. I mean, first of all, I wasn't trying to say she was part of the Jackals.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
true.
trying to say that maybe because she's related to somebody with a,
Right, right.
with
No, that
a
makes sense.
power about them, maybe she can sense it.
Mhm.
But technically, I guess we don't know for sure that she wasn't part of the Jackals. I don't know. I definitely, like, up until the last minute, I totally thought that he wasn't really her brother and he was just saying that. He was some guy, but like, he was her brother. So maybe there is something to that. Like, she could tell there was something special or different about him. I don't know.
I'd like to know more about this brother figure. From what you told me, he seemed kind of suspicious.
I'm gonna go over to my purse and dig out the business card he gave me earlier because I don't think I ever actually looked at it.
Sure. It says Arlo Dawkins Accounting, and it says Ryder and Sons Accounting Firm, Industrial District, and it's his phone number and email.
Okay. I'll be like, well, I mean, at least their names seem to match. It could certainly be some sort of a ruse, but I mean, this is a really nice card stock, and that shit is expensive. So I mean,
It's not expensive if you can just make it. We don't know what his power is.
that is true.
It would
That
be
is
weird
true.
if his mythos was just printing business cards. I don't
Yeah.
remember any.
Boring.
Yeah,
Foreign
but
power.
mine
That
are
would be the
weird.
saddest one.
It was like the great myths and legends of the civilizations of Staples and Office Depot,
I mean,
maybe.
wait, hold on. the tax collector, the tally man, that's actually really important in a lot of
That's
myths.
true.
They're the ones who come collect the greatest tax of all that you owe. Your life, your soul.
Cool.
God damn it.
With
A
like,
collective sigh in the apartment.
I'm sorry, Aviva. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just kind of had a bit of a realization as you were speaking.
yeah.
So we totally know there's something going on really sketchy with the brother. And oh my god, I can't believe I'm saying this, but should we go back and like maybe ask more about the whole thing? Because everything kind of goes back to him and the jackal and the whole thing.
I like where you're going with this, Kira, but
I don't like where I'm going with this. Someone
I know,
say that wrong, please.
instead of
Well,
talking to him, let's watch him discreetly. Let's surveil him, see what he
I
gets
can do
him.
discreet. I can get out of there and what? And yeah, I don't want to talk with him.
Kira,
I
did you
mean-
have an idea?
Or Katya.
Gotcha, that's what I meant.
yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
I mean, I think staking out is a great idea, especially if this guy seems to be operating out of Lenore's home. At least he was earlier today. I think we've all like caught each other up on everything that we
Yeah.
thought, right?
Yep.
So,
Mhm.
I mean, to be honest, I'd really like to try to get down into that basement area or
Yeah.
whatever it was.
I mean-
that was in the house.
We could do an AV squad thing again, have a couple people tail him, have another couple people break into the house, go into the basement.
Might not be a bad plan.
Or more ground. And quite frankly, we're losing time to find out who did this to Lenore, to find out the greater whatever of this. We missed Brock by just merely minutes.
Yeah.
Here's a thought. We know that she was going to go to that museum auction, right?
Yeah.
And then, well, when Katya and I were looking around her office, she had all of these replicas of like famous statues and works of art and things. And there was all this stuff in the office about the golden Ankh, like
Yes, but it wasn't
Ankh,
there.
ancient Egypt. Maybe there's something going on at that museum auction.
It was the only thing not crossed off on her list we found.
Oh.
And Arlo, that was his name. Yeah. Arlo Argyle, our dear friend, her brother. Maybe if they had something in common, like maybe it had something to do with this museum auction, maybe we could just follow him there.
I hear you freaking out, Alex.
I think I figured out who Arlo is, but I don't want to say
I'm
anything.
gonna guess now, honestly.
Not gonna say
No,
anything.
say it, dude, say it. It didn't
No,
character.
I don't want to say it. No.
Say it, your character's like a detective!
No.
This is
Yeah.
fun, the power.
Do it.
So at this point in the night, this is the time when you can use a downtime action. This allows you to either recover from your last activity, so like a long rest in D&D, so you get rid of one of the statuses that you've accrued over the day, a -1.
Okay.
You could prepare for your next activity, and that basically means you can recover all your burnt power tags, which we haven't really talked about that, so don't worry about that one, or gain 3 juice. And juice is kind of used to manipulate the environment around you. And kind of make something out of nothing. It basically gives you narrative control of the scene and lets you do what you want. And then you could use give attention to one of your logo's themes, and that is basically like a point towards your level up. So at some point in the night you can decide on those. But yeah, continue on as you are having this conversation. But I thought this was the closest thing we'll get to downtime for a bit.
Yeah.
So
Can
I'm
I
gonna-
ask a quick
Sure.
can I ask a quick mechanical question
Mhm.
about that? Is it we can do one of those things? So like I couldn't gain juice and advance a logos, right?
Yep. Yeah, you can choose
Okay.
one.
Okay, cool.
You can
I'm gonna
advance a
heal.
mythos too. Sorry, I didn't read it right. So either
Advance any cards. Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna heal up.
You
Okay.
say,
Yeah, same.
this is
So-
what we get from jumping off a building.
Yes, Chris,
Hey,
mechanical
I didn't
question.
do that.
Yep.
So like when I was doing like the Healy check, if I succeeded on at a better rate, would I have actually healed Katya like points on the card or no?
Like, does that only go away?
Yeah.
If you
No, you
spend
can.
time?
Yeah, you can use your juice points to do that. So basically, change the game gives you 1 juice point, and you could have used that to heal her. So we
Okay,
can just
that's
say
what I
that that
thought.
happened if you don't want to. Yeah. So Katya, you can just reduce your tag by 1.
Okay.
Your
and
gunshot tag.
Oh, so you only go down like by 1 rank. So if I was like injured at like a 3, I'd only go down to 2, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's wild. I like
That's
that.
pretty awesome, yeah. Fortunately, I only have 1.
I think for downtime, I would actually like to get the 3 juice. That sounds really interesting. Is that just something that I would mark down somewhere personally? Because I don't see a spot on the character
tracking
sheet.
cards.
The tracking
icons,
cards.
You can change what it's for.
You can use that, or you can just remember.
I'll put it on a card just so I can.
Okay, so we'll say that Aviva is preparing for the next activity. Kind of as you were all talking about this, she's starting to think about things in her head, and she gains these 3 juice.
And I can use them to like introduce some new element to a scene.
Basically, as long as it's within your mythos's like powers, anything that goes with the golem. So
Okay.
I'll find it. What does everyone else want to do while I'm looking for that real quick?
I'll also do the juice thing.
Okay.
And I was like asking all the questions I was gonna ask, so
So are we saying that we were able to use like a juice we didn't know about, I guess, for my wounds, or do I need to use the downtime if I want to heal that?
No, you're
What was
good.
that?
You're good. You're healed. You can use your downtime for something else.
Okay. Alright. Damn, I don't know.
Sorry, I didn't really explain that. I just kind of assumed that Alex wanted to use his juice to heal you because that was like the intent of his role, but
Yeah, I hadn't really like known that
Right.
mechanic yet.
right.
I'm like, I don't even know really what I would do to like get ready to prep. What exactly is advancing a logos or a mythos? Is that just like adding another tag, or?
Basically, if you advance it like 3 times, you level up and you get bonuses to your rolls. It's kind of just
Okay.
leveling up in any other role-playing game.
So it's like on the card where it says attention. So there's like a couple little chevron
Okay.
looking type things.
Mhm.
And like after you attend to your card in whatever way 3 times, it gets a level up thing. And
Yep.
that's what lets you add more tags and things.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm probably gonna do that to a thing then. I just don't know what
Okay.
yet.
So I'll go ahead and read the juice description from the book real quick for those who have juice now. When you use your abilities to give yourself or your allies an advantage, you get juice equals power. So here you get 3 of them just because that's narratively what it says. You can use these juice to create a new story tag within your character's abilities. So if Thor wanted to make the scene randomly have a storm, that's within his power to do so. You could burn a power or a story tag. So if it was storming and you wanted to get rid of it, you could get rid of that tag. Or you could give or reduce a status, like Alex did. So he healed Katya, so he reduced her status by 1. So that's kind of what they do.
Okay.
Basically, just describe what you want to do, and juice tag is pretty much it. Like, it pretty much does anything you want. So,
Create a new tag, burn a tag, or give or remove a status. Sweet. And that can be something that like we could cause in the environment or something like that as
Yep.
well. It isn't just like I'm taking an action, a juiced up action.
nope, anything you'd
Okay.
like.
Cool, thanks.
All right, so sorry to derail. What is the rest of the plan? Are you all going to bed here, or are you going to go stake out?
Well, the auction is the next day, correct?
Yes.
What time is it?
It's like
Probably like 9. It's pretty late.
If I don't get home, my mom's gonna get worried.
yeah, I think sleeping, important, rest, recuperation.
Also, Henry needs me to tell him a bedtime story, so.
So, sorry, quick question. Like,
Mhm.
are we saying, are we trying to sneak into his house while Argyle is at the auction? Wouldn't that be a bit better? Or are we trying to go to the auction and risk him seeing us there? Or
You
we're
don't
not-
know
or
he's going to
assuming
go to
that
the auction.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just wanted to go
the auction
there.
was Lenore's notes, I think,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, that's why I wanted to go there.
Well, I just don't know if he knows about it too.
Right.
Mhm.
I mean, that's definitely a reasonable concern, but
That
at
is a
least
risk.
we don't really know for sure, right? I didn't hear
Yeah.
him say
But
anything
if-
about it.
But if we surveil him, we would know if he's going or not.
So,
Probably.
are you saying that we should surveil like now and then figure out if he's going to the auction?
We don't have to surveil right now. We could start in the morning.
In the
and early.
morning, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do we want to come up with are we all surveilling him? Because it's kind of obvious if there's like 5 people trailing someone.
No, I thought we were gonna split up 2
Right, that's what I
surveil,
thought too.
3 go to the house.
I
You could
will
use the cover
say,
story.
yeah, Kira, you have the inn with the jackals, and it seems like he's connected to them. And you're also really sneaky.
And you're
It
really
seems
good at
like,
talking.
yeah.
Okay. I don't like where this is going, like at all.
Well, I mean,
Hello?
I'm just saying.
Hello? What are you trying to say?
I'm just saying, I think that if surveillance is what you want to do, then you'd be the best person in this group to do that. I mean, the rest of us aren't exactly the most subtle always. I mean, like, some of us are smooth, but you
Listen, some of you
can-
need to stop jumping out of windows. I get it.
Yeah, you know,
That
and
was one
I
window.
already kind of think that
2.
maybe going to the auction would be where I would,
Okay.
be better useful to the
Wait.
group.
Okay, so I thought it was sneak into the house, surveil, and then we would all go to the auction.
Oh,
Yeah,
we
that's what I
could
thought.
we could do that too. We could.
Yeah.
I mean, we can always just sort of have some of us doing the stakeout, some prepared to go to the auction, and, you know, should Argyle leave the house or enter the house, I mean,
Mhm.
we can always rearrange our plans a bit. Nobody's going to be anywhere by themselves. I
Yeah,
think is
plus-
the most important.
Mhm.
Plus, we got cell phones.
Yes, exactly.
Woo.
Gotta get my dissertation writing in at some point. Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to call Ben to see if he can pick up another shift. Oh, he's gonna be so pissed.
Yeah, wait, who was supposed to take Lynette to our soccer game? Let me check my schedule.
I'll have Alice reschedule everything on Monday and fine.
Oh, it's a court holiday Monday. I don't have to go to work.
Oh, is it? Excellent, I forgot.
We all
Excellent.
forgot.
Martin
Like,
Luther
court
King
holiday
Jr.
for the
weekend.
attorney. That's
Yeah.
It is approaching holiday season, but
It's one of those holidays that like no one really. It's like one of those holidays that's recognized as a holiday, but everyone else still has to go to work.
Oh, like
Oh,
like
yeah.
an Arbor Day or something like that.
President's
Day or some
Flag
shit.
Day.
yeah.
It's Arbor Day tomorrow, everyone.
Yeah.
All right, so let's progress this. As you are spending your
Yes.
downtime, you sleep for the night. Next day comes, the city sirens, same deal. It's almost in fast forward as your mornings kind of play out the exact same way in Barlow City. It is cold this morning. It is starting to snow. Not the first snow of the year, but the most recent. It's just thinly covering the grounds now, and you can kind of hear the slush of tires as they drive through the streets. Okay, so who's going where? We'll just say you all met up to avoid that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let me know who's
Um,
going where, and we'll go from there.
So yeah, I gotta get some work done this weekend. How's about this? Since we're all gonna go to the auction, most likely all of us or most of us, meet people there, get some work done beforehand, and maybe try and figure out what is the golden ankh, and can I find out anything about what that possibly means? We cool with that?
I mean,
Maybe? Can you say that again? Like, that wasn't super clear.
Oh, just because the item that seems to be up for auction is called the Golden Ankh. So like, try and figure out what that is, what the deal is with this auction.
So
Take
you
cell
mean do
phone,
research?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
So you want to be
If
on
needed.
research squad. Okay.
Sure.
I guess I'll do surveillance. I'm one of the few who has his own car.
All right.
Okay, I mean, I'll come with you because I don't
Debatable, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll
But
take
like-
Kira.
I mean,
I
Kira,
guess-
if you were gonna be the one trying to get into the house anyway, that seems to make sense.
trust you. Yep. Okay.
Okay.
And then the plan is to all meet up later for the auction,
Right.
or did we want to split
No,
up?
I thought we were meeting up for the auction, and then half of the people were going to trail him. The other half were going to break into the house right when he wasn't there. Was that the plan?
Well, we
Or
don't
did-
know if he's gonna go. So this is the morning. So we're gonna do surveillance in the morning, surveillance and research in the morning,
Okay.
and then I think depending on what we find out, we're gonna all go to the auction, or we're gonna stay kind of split up. And if he's going to the auction, then we're gonna break in.
Yeah,
And-
we're
Okay,
But
so
if he's
that's
not
how
going
we're
to the
gonna do
auction, then we'll all go to the auction.
Okay.
right? Is
Right.
that how logic?
That
I'm
seems
just
reasonable.
Okay.
All
okay.
right.
I think you
so
got it.
Victor and Kira, you make your way to Lenore's house.
All right, nice.
Old cobblestone sidewalks, the same exact scene that you had seen the day previously. You pull
Okay.
up to what you know as Lenore's house. You pick up your car from Jace. He's jumped it for you. Oh God. You pick up your car from Jace and you make it back to Lenore's house. There is no cars in the driveway. All of the lights are off inside.
Oh, I thought we were trying to look into this Argyle guy.
Yeah, isn't.
Oh.
Yeah, he's like at her house.
Oh, he's been
I saw
staying at her crib. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna other side of the street, lights off,
Mhm.
classic surveillance. We're just kind of sitting there, and kind of just sitting there with Kira. The radio's low. It's probably some weird experimental rock music on the radio playing.
Just both awkwardly, just like,
So
Okay.
I'm a weird knife assassin person. That's quite of a thing to have attached to you.
well, I don't think I ever killed anyone, but thanks for putting that thought into my head.
Yeah, well,
That's cool of you.
yeah. I can't say I'm on the list of people who hasn't gotten into fights and harmed others.
Yeah, I'm not usually a huge fan of violence. I usually just kick them out of the bar before it gets to that. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Hey, the lights are off. Do we want to get in there?
Well, let's wait like 5 more minutes. I don't want to walk in on him if he's in there.
Okay, yeah, sure. I mean, I was thinking I did bring a couple of clothes in the bag, so I was thinking that you could maybe be a solicitor or something, if it comes to that.
All right, what am I selling?
I don't know. What do you have on you?
Just starts.
You find your wallet with money that you can sell.
Yeah, you could maybe sell your wallet, or I don't know. I don't solicit it or anything.
Oh, hey, Matthew Foreman, thank you for dropping in.
Just
All right.
in time for planning. Our
Yeah,
best
this is the
part.
longest planning. So are you guys going up to the house or what?
Yeah, we're gonna go up to the house.
All right.
We're going in.
All right, so you make it up to the house. It is dark. There are the same 2 suburban moms who are walking their big white
Oh,
floofy dogs down
jeez.
at the end of the cul-de-sac.
Damn Karens.
Can I pet the dogs?
Sure, if you want to talk to 2
Pet the
Karens,
dogs.
that's
No,
your
No, I'm trying to get Kira. No, stop.
that's your
I'm trying
sacrifice.
to be nice. There's no point in being suspicious. Oh, like puppies.
You make it up to the house. It is dark inside. And you hear, the only thing you can really hear is the soft sound of the pool filter in the back running.
So I just kind of I knock on the door, pretending to be like the solicitor or whatever.
There's no
I-
answer.
Okay.
If there's no one home, let's get in here. Yeah, I'm gonna check the
Oh, yeah,
windows.
All the windows are closed and locked.
Well, I want to more. When I say check the windows, I
Oh.
mean more like look in them, see if there's a
Yeah.
light coming from inside, see if there's evidence of someone being home.
Nope, nothing. Nobody's home.
I'll check around back as well, really quick.
All right, and then I'm gonna go check the side of the house where they keep the garbage.
Okay.
I gotta. There's a reason for this.
What
Okay,
is going
okay.
on? All right, so
We're both just like, what?
okay, so you continue around the back of the house, and the pool is softly running. Leaves are kind of congregating inside of it as no one's really taking care of it right now the past few days. It's kind of backed up into the filter. The sliding glass door is shut, the kitchen lights are off, and the table is set with the same drinks from the night before when you visited Arlo. Victor, you're going around to the garbage.
Yeah.
There's a garbage can.
It's
Cool.
been used recently.
Yeah, probably.
I open it. What's in it?
What? Ew!
Hey! This is actual detective work, folks.
Yeah, I know. That was in character. Just like she just comes around back like, okay, I think we're cool. What the fuck?
Hey! Whoa! Shh.
All of Lenore's notes have been thrown away.
Here.
What? Oh my god, what?
I'm pulling them out. These are Lenore's notes.
Oh my god, don't just dig through someone else's trash. That's gross.
One person's trash isn't, well, my treasure apparently, because these are Lenore's notes.
Okay. Wait, what did they say? I'm not touching that.
These are the
I'm
same
not
notes
touching that.
that you saw the day before. That Katya found on the dresser. These are the ones that she did not take. It is descriptions of all these other artifacts that she has. The one that sticks out in your mind is like the Holy Grail, things like that.
Do they have, are there locations about where they're at, or no?
No, it's more of just like a description of what they are.
Okay.
You know, I'm not going to go through all of them, but there's just a lot of very historical things and like a check mark next to them, except for the golden ankh again. But you already knew that because Katya stole that piece.
Is there anything else worth in the notes, or did they do a good job going through it? And
Yeah, they did a pretty good job. There are definitely ripped pages out of the notebook, so you can tell what's going on. Yeah.
Here, it looks like someone's been through these notes, took what they wanted.
It's probably Argyle or whatever. I mean, we already know about this. I just don't know if he knows about the Ankh because Katya took the pages that have dealt with them, I think. So
Actually, I think I just copied them as.
Oh, you copied
them?
because I had all of my like legal pads with me and stuff.
Oh, you copied.
so-
That one's probably in the trash then too.
Okay. Oh, so he knows about it. So he might actually be at the auction tonight. We should probably text them.
Good plan.
Okay,
We need to get in here too.
Okay. I mean, it doesn't look like anyone's home.
Yeah, so let's just get it. Let's just, all the windows are locked too, I checked.
Okay. Well, I don't know, do you know, are you like a criminal in a past life? Can you like break in or something?
You're the one whose myth is an assassin.
My myth is, I think it's like a knife-wielding vigilante superhero kind of thing. I don't think it's an assassin. Excuse me, you're the one who knows how to use a gun, and you're the one who's like, I'm gonna hunt vampires, so I don't even know what you are.
First of all, one of my best friends is a vampire. Second of all, I was not a criminal. I'm a historian enthusiast, so I do enjoy weapons. Doesn't make me a murderer, but I saw you fighting. We're walking up to the door to go break in.
We're trying to figure out who is the most deadly.
I saw you fighting Brock, and that did not look like no vigilante super.
I totally missed.
Yeah, and look, Margot's gonna say you're totally a vigilante, but Margot's wrong about everything, and I think you're an assassin.
So you make it up to the door.
Okay, so can we, like, get in?
I try the handle anyway.
It's locked.
Credit card trick.
Okay,
So-
let's make a sneaking around check if you want to try to bust in.
Wait, Cindy, what was that?
Oh,
Were you
I was gonna
something?
say, so one of my texts is, like, short-range teleportation, but I don't know if that, like, will actually work, or if that's
Nice.
more of a... Wait, what?
I'll say that you can use one of your juice points that you stored to be able to teleport to somewhere you can see.
Okay, yeah, I'll just go inside then, like, right inside.
Okay, so mark off a juice point, and
Okay.
you just kind of see Kira just materialize. Victor, you don't even really see her like teleport. You just like look back for a second after you're pulling out your credit card, and you just see Kira inside the window.
I would like to add, this is probably in the middle point where I'm like, and you're totally an assassin, right?
Yeah.
She'll lock it from the inside and she'll open it. I am not an assassin, okay?
All right, you got me there. Okay, fine. Vigilante superhero.
Thank you. Thank you.
Neat trick, by the way. You're gonna have to teach me that one.
What if I could? And yeah, let's get in here. What's in here? Is it a basement? Excuse? Where is it? Where's the things?
So you You kind of look around. There is one room open. It's the office where Katia was the day before, and it is completely trashed. It is completely tossed, and there is a small the underground like staircase like latch that you found is ripped up, and there is a small set of stairs down to the basement.
Picture with the cell phone.
Yeah.
Definitely taking pictures. She's like, okay. All right, let's go down.
You make it down there. It's a soft room.
Ladies first. It's like I'm imagining this creepy basement beckoning to us.
I'm like, great, thanks. Okay, if there's spiders, I'm leaving you to kill them. Just.
It is a softly lit room. There is one light that is kind of flickering slightly in the back of the basement. There's pipes lining vents. It's not a nice basement. She didn't really care about it. There is, however, on the wet concrete floor with like the drain from the 80s that is way too low, and it's kind of slopes down. Past that, there's one single safe on the floor. It is open and empty.
Damn it. Shit. I mean, yeah, shit.
It's okay. I'm not gonna. Yeah, shit.
No, fuck. Oh,
all right, that's it. I'm calling Katya.
Okay, yeah. Oh, God damn it.
Bring.
Bring. Katya, pick up.
Hello.
Go to voicemail.
Wait, seriously? I'm in voicemail?
No, I'll pick up. That'd
Katya,
be amazing, though.
we got a problem.
What's up? What'd you do?
First of all, I did nothing. We are not on the third floor. There is no third floor. Thank God.
We're in the basement.
Here, I'm putting you on speaker.
Yeah.
Hey, Katya. Look, apparently, this place is trash. Nothing's here anymore. Like, there's a safe, and it's open, and we don't know, and fuck, I'm set.
Okay. Was there any, were they there, or anything like that? Were you alone in the house? Like, was Arlo and his jackal friend there? Have you seen any sign of people, or?
No.
We went.
Yeah, pool hasn't been cleaned. Kira told me that. The notes were in the trash, and there's a safe in the basement here, empty.
Okay, this was like the hidden basement, I think, right? There wasn't like a different cellar you found or something, huh?
Kira would have found it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't really know what that means. Maybe they found what they were looking for in the safe, or maybe they're still after wwhatever it was.
Yeah, it worries me that there was a safe, and of course, whatever was in there's missing. But they're not. What's up?
Can you tell if the safe, like, does it look like it was forced or broken open, or?
Was it?
MC, we're looking at the safe.
Yeah, it was definitely broken into. There's like scorch marks on it too.
Well, let's just say, Katya, whoever got into the safe didn't have the combination.
Well, I feel like that means something, at least. It definitely means whatever it is. Lenore didn't move it before what happened.
And it also tells us she didn't want someone getting their hands on it.
Including, it seems, her brother.
And apparently, and since he went through the notes, he probably knows about the auction, so I don't know if we should still all go tonight.
Damn it, I wasn't sure if it would have been better to take it or not.
It's not your fault. But but this probably does mean that he's going to be there, or at least maybe one of his jackal friends will be there.
Just as a note, real quick, there was no evidence stating the Ankh would be on sale at the auction, so...
Okay.
It just seems to be the only lead we have.
Sure, I'm just saying, there's no, like, hard evidence that's
right.
Really
anyway, Katya, and, I'm going to start leading Kira out of the place. What'd y'all find? Flashback. Smash cut. Well, it all started with
boom.
What a segue.
Another dead body.
sick transition right there.
Another day, another dead body.
Alright, so what are the three of you doing? I know you're doing some sort of research today. What's on the docket?
Let's see, I mean, I guess if we wanted to be team research until auction time or on standby, Katya probably would have come to pick up Nora and Aviva. I might be I'd be pretty good at researching too, even if I'm not like a student, as long as Aviva can get us into, a university library.
Yeah,
or something.
I can do that pretty easily.
Like,
Yeah,
I'm an attorney. I can do fucking research with the best of them.
Attorney coming through.
Pretty much. Just everything's gonna be covered in highlighter and post-its. Librarians will hate me.
All right, sir, you go to the Barlow City University Library, probably the biggest one in the city. So yeah, if you all want to make an investigation check, 2d6 plus your tags.
I'm probably going to not use the library books and instead just go through my dad's police stuff and try to look up Arlo and see if he's ever been reported caught for anything.
Okay. So everybody go ahead and make investigation checks, no matter what avenue you're investigating through.
All right.
That was just a 6.
Archive expert, eye for detail. Let's see, what can
I got a 9.
Okay.
Rolled a 6 and a 1, but plus 2.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, I roll slow.
No, you're fine. I'm looking something up too, so don't worry about it.
My best die failed me too and rolled a 1, so it's now disgrace.
It's now your worst die.
Before this, it had never rolled below a 4. Never. And I'm just like, oh, baby. Why?
Okay.
Okay, we'll do Katya's results really quick. Or no, Aviva got a 7, right?
I got a 9,
You
actually.
got a 9, okay.
7 plus 2.
Cool. So that means your investigation either exposes you to danger, it's fuzzy or incomplete, or whatever you are asking the question can ask one question to you. So not the last one.
Yeah, that's not really applicable.
Yeah.
We find a sentient book. Fuck.
I am the gatekeeper.
Hello. Let me tell you a story.
Oh, the golden
Eats
Ankh.
your
eh?
face off. Okay, so the cautious person in me wants this to be fuzzy or incomplete, but the fun person that's live streaming a game wants me to be exposed to danger, so let's go danger and hope it's just paper cuts.
You get a really gnarly paper cut.
I'm so exposed to danger.
Yeah.
Ah!
Okay, so you were just researching what the golden Ankh is, right? Just so I know what info to give you. Okay, so
Yeah.
you generate a clue, as you always do when you investigate successfully.
Okay.
So how many tags did you use? Do you remember?
2. I used eye for detail and archival expert.
Great. So you have 2 clues, and you can ask me questions based upon these clues. And I will tell you the
Okay.
negative effect afterwards.
What is the golden Ankh?
Okay. The golden Ankh is a Egyptian artifact that was used by gods to dictate who could live and who could die. It is almost a symbol of power and godlyhood, as far as you get.
Knowing that I guess tell me if this is okay to ask for a clue or not, but knowing that it's an Egyptian artifact, would I then see any possible connection between that and the jackals? Because jackals, Egyptian mythology and stuff.
Sure, there were multiple jackal-headed gods in Egyptian mythology, and there was also a set of individuals called the jackals who were 72 soldiers of an Egyptian god.
Do I know which one?
Yes, Set.
Okay, cool.
He was also a jackal-headed god, and his followers took on his visage, I guess. So
72 soldier followers.
again, also for the stream, there are varying, ideas around this mythology. So this is just the one we're using. If you know a different one, I'm not saying that one's wrong or anything. But it's just the myth we're using.
That's the beauty of mythology.
Yep.
Chris, I'm glad you said something, because I was about to be like, wait a minute.
Actually.
Luigi.
Yeah, I definitely read 3 or 4 different interpretations on this.
Oh yeah, there's
there's a lot out there for sure. Okay, so Egyptian artifact. I'll tell the rest of the group. It controls who could live and die, and might be connected to the jackals.
Sure.
Possibly fill them in with that. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so the danger you are exposed to. A lot of this information, the way this library works is you kind of had to look up where the book would be on a computer system beforehand.
Right.
And now that is saved in the search history of the library.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
Damn search histories.
Damn it.
Should have done incognito mode.
Yeah, dang it. Okay, so Katya, you have a hard time finding much.
Yeah.
You're a little unfocused here, or too focused on something. And then, Nora, what did you roll? You got a 4?
Yeah, I
Or
got a
9,
mild
sorry.
success. Yeah.
Okay, so like that says, you also get to choose a negative thing, and your power was 4, so you have 4 clues you can ask me questions on.
Okay, so danger would be cool, but also I think it's very in character to get fuzzy and complete, and like she's just looking at Margot's blog or something.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So I might go that route because I think it fits.
Yeah, that sounds good. We can do that one.
Okay. So 4 clues that are fuzzy and unclear. Okay, so I guess the first one would just be if Margot has any information on how many jackals there currently are in the area. Just kind of like
Cool. Okay, so her blog does talk about the jackals a little bit, just because it's hard not to with current events in the city. And hers, she says in one article you can cite, it says, and there's probably just hundreds of them on the streets now. And then the next one is like, well, some experts are saying there's only around 50 or 70. But then experts are saying there's nowhere near 100 of them. So it is a little incomplete, but you get 50 to 100 around there.
okay. Interesting. I'm trying to think of questions, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Because I know that they're gonna be like fuzzy ones, so it's kind of hard. I was gonna go to a completely different route until I rolled that one, so now I'm like rethinking questions.
I mean, you can still use those, and we can come back to it if you need time to think about it.
Okay, yeah, I guess another thing is that I was gonna look and see if Arlo had a record or anything.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay, so you log in, do some searching through various engines, and you do find Arlo Ryder. He has lived here, like everyone has, all of his life. He is a career accountant. He works at Ryder & Sons, or I said Arlo Ryder, sorry, Arlo Dawkins. He works at Ryder & Sons accounting firm, and it is you do get, I will say this with this, you do get the vibe of the accounting firm. He is not a successful accountant. It is not a Big Four accounting firm, if you will.
Okay, but he doesn't have a criminal record or anything.
No
Nothing
criminal
bad.
record.
Okay. Does she say anything about Egyptian gods on her blog? Anything about that?
Yeah, she's probably talked about Egyptian gods. She probably talks about Ra a lot and the sun, but there's not really any like answers or anything about that.
And then I want a bad vampire information, just like.
She, in one article she wrote, she is pretty convinced that there are way more vampires than jackals in the streets. It's the same article with the hundreds of jackals, and she cites that there are thousands of vampires living in Barlow City, and that they are even in hospitals and places like that.
I'm gonna text Victor and tell him he's doing a shitty job.
All right, and that wraps your 4th question.
Yes.
Katya,
Sorry
yeah,
that I use
unfortunately,
it more to goof around,
Oh, that's
but
fine.
Yeah, Katya got distracted answering work emails. It's fine.
Yeah. All right, so that's kind of what you all gather. We're gonna skip over that and assume that you fill each other in, what's going on, and you can meet back up for whatever discussion you want to have about that.
Oh, what time is the auction in the day, and what time is it now?
The auction is
as we're
at
meeting up?
5 p.m. We'll say it's like 3. You spend a good chunk of the day investigating and doing your dissertation before that. So.
And homework.
Yep.
Gotta look out for myself. All right, I guess go towards the museum, maybe grab some food beforehand, and then we just go and hang out at this auction.
How fancy is this auction? Do we
Yeah,
know?
do we get to wear fancy clothes?
Yeah, it's fancy clothes. If you all would like to describe your fancy attire.
Yes!
Okay, sure.
I have picture.
Nice.
I just imagine Victor's formal attire is basically what he wears, but instead of like the tan trench coat, it's a black trench coat.
Ooh.
And that's the
So
only thing that
edgy.
changes. It's the only thing that changes. It's like the Matrix leather trench coat. Let's be super
That's
extra.
formal. I love it.
Right? Let's
Aw.
just be extra. Matrix coat.
Nice.
Wait, did you post it, Nevi?
I did. It's in Dead Winter discussion. You've seen it, Cindy. It's long,
Ooh.
black,
Ooh.
big bat sleeves,
Nice.
lace on top, and then it's kind of sheer on the bottom. Black gothic necklace. Like, it's cool.
Very cool.
I've just got sort of it's like my nice job interview clothes. So it's like a tailored suit, but it's not like on the order of what Katya would have. And I just sort of have like a slightly little wilting, like cheap flower in the buttonhole. Probably just picked up from like a little like street stand or something like that, just to try and spruce it up a little bit. Like a little gray suit.
Oh, that's so sad.
I know. May or may not be based off of actual clothes that the player has.
Katya would be, if this is like a formal occasion and not just like, court attire would be appropriate, she would be wearing something that she would wear for like a nice kind of work gala or something like that. So she's
Ooh.
got like a long dark blue like evening like cocktail kind of dress on with like sparkly straps.
Cool.
Yeah. And just like very simple but tasteful like jewelry, but still her giant bag that has Yorick in it because she's not leaving with that. She's not leaving without him. She got shot yesterday. She's like, mm-mm.
No, that's totally fair.
Yeah, I'm taking my magic skull with me. Then it's just like in her bag, like as we're walking up, like best behavior, okay? Jeez.
I'm gonna sneak my weapons into the auction, including my now modded Colt M1911, by pretending that they're relics and artifacts that I have for sale. And they're gonna be in my jacket because, yeah.
Well, I mean, okay.
That's not how auctions work. You know that, right, Victor?
I'm
You just
bringing
gotta,
my
like,
Play the
weapons.
Resident Evil games. I know how this works.
Go up to the auctioneer and be like, "Hey, kid, you want to buy a watch?" Is definitely like the
Right?
vibe.
You want an antique gun?
Got your antique guns right here.
This is
Oh my
fine.
God, we're going to be arrested.
Yeah, probably. Anybody
Only if
else's
we get
fancy
caught.
attire? Did we miss? We missed
Yeah,
Kira?
yeah.
Here,
Oh, I
yeah.
didn't even think about it that much. Maybe like really long dress and like surprisingly has sleeves for some reason. You wouldn't think so, but yeah, like as much skin covered as possible. Maybe like a dark mini like jacket on top. It's like, oh, it's cold. Don't
Ooh.
worry about it. Can I take your coat? Don't.
A little bolero. Nice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Everyone looks so good. At least in my
We
imagination.
fancy tonight. I'm excited.
Katya's slaying.
All
Hell
right,
yeah,
so
she
you roll
is.
up together to the Barlow City Historical Center. It is not far away from campus, so it's probably something. It's one of those things you've driven by a million times. Probably rarely been inside. It does have a big banner out at the front that says auction night, and that's pretty much it. You walk up and it has a fountain in the little courtyard, and then some long steps. Long steps, and then you go into the foyer, and there's a large Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton, like classic every museum in the world, and it is posed right there. There is a gaggle of fancy individuals. There is a man at a podium. He's tall, he's thin, he has black hair that is kind of swooshed over one side of his head. He smells like potpourri kind of mixed with cologne that he probably can't
Ugh.
afford.
Oh God.
And he has a little book, and he's like, "Oh, good evening, and who do we have here?" And he has this little like attendance book, basically.
Stacy Evans. I show him the fake ID.
Classic.
Amazing.
Oh, Stacy, ID isn't required. It's just for the curator to know who attended their event.
Oh, well,
Oh,
hi, my name's Katya. Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Oh, what a lovely name, and he writes it down.
Yes, I know.
I'm Viva with the university.
Ah,
I'm Victor. I'm here on behalf of myself.
and what a great person to be here on behalf of. And he writes down your name.
Oh, I like it. Wait, do they got a mythos?
No.
No, just potpourri. The mythos is the cologne.
Oh,
The mythos is like a middle school boy.
The Axe body spray.
Oh, if his mythos was a fairy, it'd be pretty scary because he's getting everyone.
yeah.
So that's
gross.
totally the point.
Don't give Chris ideas.
Yeah, now he
Also,
is.
there's a reason I didn't give a full name. Ha! Joke's on you.
Yep, got me. All right, so he logs you all in.
I will say Katya is definitely trying to keep an eye open for other people with mythoses.
Okay.
just
There
in
are.
general.
So this is a pretty big little circular area. Everyone's having like cocktails and hors d'oeuvres, and it's a really nice thing. Everybody is dressed to the nines, as pretty much all of you are. One person, Katya, that you do notice off the bat is his name was mentioned last section. I don't remember really the context, but Magnus Lovat. He is a wide man of average height. He has dark, deep set eyes. He is sporting a bald head, very shiny in the bright lights of the museum. He's wearing a fine black three-piece suit with a red tie. He is the chief judge of Barlow City. He definitely has a mythos, but the last time you saw him, which was probably a few weeks ago, maybe, I don't know, he did not have a mythos, at least that you've ever noticed.
Okay, yeah, because if he was a judge, I would probably at least know him by like name and sight.
Yeah, you've definitely had water cooler conversations before in passing, but he's never had a mythos before. Just because you kind of know him, he is known as kind of a dick. He plays favorites, and he has his own little club that he hangs out with.
Okay. It was Magnus. What was his last name? I'm sorry.
Lovat.
Lovat. Okay.
The only other mythos you recognize in here is Arlo Dawkins. You see him on the far side of another stair, and he is talking to several nice, well-dressed men and women. But he is only wearing corduroy pants and like a gray cardigan. He has the same wide-rimmed, nerdy glasses, and he's kind of got the comb-over look going still.
All right.
Clearly evil.
I'm gonna position myself with Nora in the line of sight of our group, because Argyle hasn't seen Nora or myself. We didn't go to the house that day.
Right.
So I'm gonna make sure if he does see our group, he's seeing Nora and Victor.
Okay, cool. Other people of note in this area, you see a short girl. She is wearing a purple beanie. She has like these, again, wide rim kind of stylish glasses. She has like high top shoes on, ripped jeans, and she is furiously texting. And she has like a little reporter badge on her chest, I guess, kind of pinned to her chest, and it just says Fuzz Feed reporting.
Fuzzfeed.
Yep. It's Fuzzfeed. It's probably a shitty online news tablet. You probably have heard of it.
I like their
Known for
quizzes.
their listicles. Oh boy.
And then there's other, beautiful, well-dressed, wealthy individuals in this room. It is definitely a place of wealth, as most of these people are going to be betting on very expensive items this evening.
I'd like to Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna ask, would you like to do anything? So.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask if I could see if there's some kind of like auction catalog or something like that details what's gonna be up for sale. Page through that, see if I can find something interesting.
Sure. The man who checked you in, his name is Maven. He reaches down and grabs one out for you. Basically, what is on the agenda tonight? There are miscellaneous Egyptian amulets. There is a Ben stone from one of the Great Pyramids that unfortunately fell in this world. There's pottery and art depicting ancient civilizations, and there are several caskets. One of them is a golden casket. One of them is a bronze, and it depicts a scene of death.
Now, when you say casket, do you mean like a sarcophagus that has a mummy inside, or just like casket in the sense that it's like a small chest?
It doesn't really specify.
Oh, I hope there's a mummy inside.
I really want to find out. Can I ask like an auctioneer or something like that? I'm like, just curious, like, what are the ethics on selling these things? Like, can you sell something that has a mummy inside? Is that
Oh dear, the casket has been cleaned out. It's been cleaned out. There's no one
okay.
inside of it. One of them at one point was said to hold one of the Egyptian gods. I can't quite remember which one, but
it wouldn't happen to have been set, would it? Did that jog your memory at all?
No, that doesn't ring a bell.
Huh, okay. I guess the only other thing, which I guess I'll have to probably wait to do till the auction starts, is I want to see if any of the objects gives off like magical aura, I guess.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
I was like, is the object a mythos? And I'm like, that's not really how mythos. Yeah.
Some of them. While you were all kind of investigating, poking around, the female reporter comes up from FuzzFeed, and she's like, "Hey there, can I get a few quotes from you? You excited for the auction? What are you looking forward to betting on the most?" And she just kind of takes out her phone and continues like opening a note document and typing in it.
I was looking forward to the casket, but now that I know there's no body in it.
That's going in the article, and she just keeps furiously typing with both thumbs. Doesn't even look up at you, by the way. Anybody else? I need one more quote, and then I'm out of here.
What's your name?
Tinsley Blix, and she hands you a little business card, but not as nice as Arlo's. She definitely made herself.
Cute.
Did
she have a mythos or no?
No.
No, she's just
She
okay.
did not.
Just double checking.
All right, well, I'll go find someone.
Covering an auction for this website?
Yeah, we're trying to get like a little more historical, and I drew the short straw today.
Oh.
I just want to go make more quizzes.
Fair enough. Maybe you could make one about which of these artifacts are you.
Oh my god.
Get some like really good pictures.
She swipes to a new notes document, begins typing.
Which desiccated Egyptian corpse inside of a sarcophagus are you?
Oh, I would
are
take that
brilliant.
one.
Do you have a business card? Could I get off you? We might have a job opening for someone of your talents.
I actually do. Just had these printed. It's basically like the cheapest it can possibly be while still looking professional and not handmade. You know, like mass produced at Kinko's.
Like low tier, like Vistaprint, like
exactly. It's like just, you know, cardstock, but not like any good quality paper. Yeah.
She takes a glance. Aviva Kane, completely getting your last name wrong, and she's like, she just brushes by you and walks out of the door.
That a lot. Anyway.
She just brushes by you and leaves.
Bye.
If she had asked for my name for the quote, I did just say Stacey Evans, like, just to be completely clear.
These poor people named Stacey Evans are gonna have their lives ruined by this.
Stacey Evans, final boss.
Yes.
All of the Stacey Evans Voltron together into one giant thing that we
Stacey Evans is head of the Jackals.
Oh god. Well, no, it's because I got that fake ID from Kira.
This is how myths are born, folks.
All right, so
It's
you
true.
continue through your night. Eventually, finely dressed individual. They are wearing a green long ball gown. They have they have double pink flower neck tattoos that kind of ride up the side of both of their the side of their neck. They have this short cropped whitish blonde hair and these small glasses on, and they're like, "All right, everyone, if the night could begin now, I'd love to usher everybody into the auction room." And they go over and open up a door, and everybody starts filtering in.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
I guess we're going.
I want to try and get a seat up at the front. If there's not a reserved section, I'll just sit as close to the front as I can get.
Okay, there is one aisle of reserved, and that's it. So you can get second row. You do notice that Magnus Lovat sits in the first row. Arlo does not sit in the first row, and Claire, the person that just let you in here, they take a seat in the back as well. They are clearly the curator or something like that of the museum.
I'm gonna sit near Arlo since he doesn't know me, so I can keep an eye that way.
Okay.
Good call.
Did you say Claire was the person wearing the green ball gown and the neck tattoos? And
Yes, they are. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
I'm gonna position myself near the back door, near the doors, so in case something goes down, no one can get out.
Okay.
True.
No one can get out. Victor's gonna. Okay. Anyway.
No one.
No one.
Sorry, Claire. What did
Victor
you say?
falls, we're all going down.
Sorry.
No, you're
if we're
good.
talking about seating arrangements still, I guess
We
I'll
are.
be in where the artifacts could be in case we need to snatch it and run.
Okay, right side of the stage where they're gonna be wheeled out, kinda.
Yeah,
Okay.
I kind of like that.
Cool.
Does someone want to be near the lights?
Nice. Okay, I'll probably position myself in the back sort of seating area, keeping an eye on Magnus, because he seems sort of the person I might be able to get the best read on.
Cool.
So Coffee's just, kind of seeing if he's talking to anybody, what items he's interested in, stuff like that.
Okay.
How are we gonna pay for this, guys?
No, I mean we're not
We're not
bidding
ordering
on
anything.
We're just
we just want
trying.
to look at it, okay?
We don't even know if it's here.
Okay.
And if somebody gets it, we'll know who it is. And
Yeah,
then we'll know where it is.
I'll put it on my tab. I mean, I am a.
You
doctor.
still need to put money, you still have to pay for things. You can't just
So,
say put it on my tab.
You're gonna
right?
use government funds to acquire art for your private collection.
Here's the thing that would be really sketchy, but I'm the one who keeps tab of everything, and it would go through my dad's office, and I can just look the other way.
Well,
Genius!
I don't know that it's gonna come to that necessarily.
Also,
Maybe-
one of my skills is that I can make jewels if they're not for myself.
Oh my god,
Wait,
this
what?
is such a
We're
Chris's
rich.
Face.
Yeah, why are we even doing this?
Wait, why are we debating about how we're gonna pay for this? We just found out.
But here's the thing: if I want it, it won't work. So it has to be something I don't want.
Well, I want the jewels.
Yeah, why are we rich? What?
So as you are debating this,
We're not sitting next to each other, so we're just group texting.
We're
this,
Yeah.
texting it,
"Excuse
yeah,
me?"
100%.
I want jewels.
the same tall, thin, black-haired man that signed you in is the auctioneer this evening. And he goes up and does auctioneer things that I'm not going to try to repeat. The first
I was
item.
looking forward to that, though.
The
Do
first.
I have 400, sir?
Oh, 400 over there, 400 over there, 500.
They move through all the items, and then they get to the caskets at the end. If you want to bet on bid on anything, you can. You do notice that most of the items are going for outrageous prices. A lot of them to Magnus Lovat.
Is Arlo? Which one's Arlo interested? Has he bid on anything?
He has not even raised his little bid thingy. He's just hanging out.
Technical term.
Yep, big bid thingy. Big bid
Paddle.
thingy. Paddle. Thank
Paddle.
you. Bid
You're
thingy.
welcome.
Yeah. Would you like to do anything at this point before we get to the caskets?
Is there any possible? I'm not exactly sure if this is a thing that I could do. I don't know if this is a juice thing or what. Is there any possible way to get a read on what Magnus Lavat's mythos is, or is that just we have to
Yeah, you kind of have to figure
wait
it out.
until he does something? Okay, I was
Yeah.
just curious if there's a whatever the version of an insight check is to be like, who are you?
Not
that
really.
makes sense. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I'm just curious then. I'm just wondering.
No worries.
I am curious though if Magnus has given sort of any indication that he's noticed like Katya with a mythos, because if he's just recently gotten one, she and I both assume that him seeing that she has one would also be like a WTF moment.
Right.
As far as you know, he has not even looked your way this
Okay.
evening.
I mean, really, that makes life easier for now, but I'm
Yeah. So as the one of the caskets, the first one goes, it's a bronze casket that has kind of ancient paintings on it. It goes pretty quick, not to Magnus. It actually goes to Claire, the curator of the museum. They seem to want it in their own collection at home, and they bid on it for whatever personal reason. Everyone kind of laughs as Claire does this, as they all are kind of like, what are you doing, Claire? You've had it for years. So they have like a tight-knit group of friends who's here, you can tell. The next item that is wheeled out is the golden casket that the standby person in the room told you that a Egyptian god had once been in. Maven, the auctioneer, gets up and says, all right, we're going to start the bidding here at $10,000 for this one.
Jesus Christ.
This is like extravagant, like rich people shit that you're all... Yeah.
All right. Well, eat the rich.
Katya's like, God damn it, I haven't made partner yet.
Victor, damn it, I should have went into pediatrics.
Aviva, I'm just gonna climb into this and die here because of how in debt I am. Does this object have a mythos about it?
I was getting to that. So you all,
Okay.
as this is wheeled out by Maven, you get a strong mythos, not from the casket, but from within the casket.
Whoa, your mic popped out at that.
I'm sorry.
You were so excited. It popped.
You were so excited, you peaked.
Your mic couldn't even...
Just so you know, my mic is literally over an arm's distance away from me.
That's projection, folks.
Yeah, seriously.
Dear goodness.
So there's a dead
Might
person. I'm already, by the time I find out there's a dead guy in the coffin, I'm already texting the group, Nora, no.
I want!
Does
I
someone
changed
want
my
to
mind.
cut the lights and we grab it and run? I can't afford this.
I don't know if we could grab it. Who's
That is not
bidding the
going in my
most on
car.
it? Who's bidding the most on
I
it?
can fold the seats down.
So there is an extravagant group of collectors in this area. Just because Magnus is winning a lot of this does not mean that people aren't bidding on them. It just seems that he has the most money for whatever reason. And there's like probably 10 or 12 people just riding this bid up, just driving it up. Magnus has not raised a paddle yet on this one. Would you all like to do anything at this point?
He must be waiting for something.
He's like,
Okay, so alternatively, we just make friends with the person who gets it, and then we just go in and see what it is ourselves.
Or we ask if we can see it before
Yeah,
it gets
I mean-
wrapped up for delivery. I don't know.
We still don't even know if that's even actually what we're looking for necessarily.
I don't care, I want to see.
Okay, we can take you to a museum later if you really want to see like a mummy body. I mean, come on.
I've seen
haven't you?
several mummies. They're cool, they're interesting. This is a magic mummy.
Victor just
Points.
stopped, like he was already in Google searching images of mummies to put in the chat. Like, here you go, here's some mummies.
Magic mummies.
I like this idea of like we wait to see who gets it and then we yoink it.
Well,
If we even need to.
we can
Yeah.
just
'Cause I
maybe
make, like,
befriend and see.
$3.50 with tips on a good day, so I don't.
I
Yeah.
You know, come see me later and I'll make some pearls for you.
Yeah, I like you all, but I'm not dipping into my 401k for this shit, so I mean...
The bid just keeps rising in the background as you're all group texting.
Should have went in the chiropractic.
Has Arlo bid on this?
Yeah, I'm watching him like a hawk. If he raises this thing, I'm gonna accidentally spill a drink on him so he can't.
No, he's just looking
Woof.
on, dumb smile on his face, enjoying the bid.
why is he here then? I text in all caps to the group.
Nora, ask him why he's here.
Yo, old man, why are you
Oh.
here?
You actually ask him?
Yes! Yes! Yes, queen. Yes.
He looks over to
Drop
Nora.
this.
God damn it! Why did I say
Drop
that?
this.
He looks over and he
Chuck
says,
blows up.
I enjoy all things history, and these are some great artifacts that I've never seen in person before.
Yeah, I have to do a report on it or whatever. It's lame.
Oh, very good. Stay in school.
This guy's such a nerd.
Someday you might even get to be an accountant.
Every girl's dream.
Yep. And he takes his paddle, he kind of puts it on the seat next to him and turns back to the auction.
Wait, Nora, steal his paddle.
I'm watching him closely. If I have to, I will tackle him to the ground to prevent.
So you watch Magnus eventually puts up his paddle when the bid reaches around, let's say 300k.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He puts up his paddle nonchalantly, kind of flick of the wrist, and he has his wife next to him, and she kind of like nuzzles in close to him. And the auctioneer eventually says, "Going once, going twice. Sold to Chief Judge Lovat. What a generous spender you have been tonight, Magnus. We will have these items prepared for you all this week. Thank you all for coming. As we've stated, you can pick these up when you want. However, we will need to clean them and make sure they're ready for departure. Make sure that's all safe in the meantime. So give us till about, let's say, Tuesday before you can come pick them up." Everybody kind of nods as Maven turns off the microphone and goes off stage, and everyone has like a little clap just because they've been philanthropic for one evening.
They're congratulating themselves
Yep.
on buying
Good
a
job,
sarcophagus that costs as much as a house.
Yep.
That I assume is just going right back into the museum. Was this like a charity auction? Even?
No,
What
it's
is
a
going
personal
on?
A
collection.
private collector's thing. Yeah.
Eccentric collectors.
I'm gonna start texting the group. We need to get inside that coffin before Tuesday.
Yeah.
I have a heist planned.
I'm so excited.
Oh,
we need
got
to
be
find out.
fancy and heist.
Yep.
Oh, Chris, you dog.
I did it.
Heist! Yes!
Chris, you did it. You
I did
dog. You tricky
We've
son
done
of a
it.
bitch.
We don't need to play any more games
No,
after
we're done.
this.
We're done.
Wait, are we done for the day? What?
No,
No.
Oh, see you
No,
over,
we're
guys.
just messing
Bye.
around.
Nope.
I was like, wait, no, we still have
We've
another
won
hour.
We did it. We won. Okay, so everyone claps. There's
Oh my.
some milling about. A few cocktails are had before people take off. It's people that probably don't see each other often, so they're all, handshakes and hugs kind of people. Then they go about their days forgetting about each other for another year until they're at an event again.
I hate these people so much.
I
I
feel
know, the
like
worst.
they're all just sort of schmoozing, right?
Yeah, basically.
Can I go up to Magnus Lavat's wife
Sure.
and see if I can talk to her for a second?
Sure. She is wearing a ruby sequin dress matching Magnus's tie. She has long blonde hair, and she has blue eyes, and she is currently being doted upon by several socialites.
All right. I'll just be like, hello, Mrs. Lavat. I am a PhD student with the university, and I just wanted to ask you a little bit about the collection that you and your husband are pursuing over here. Do you have a minute?
Well, hello, dear. And she looks over towards Magnus, and he's embroiled in conversation, and she's like, I suppose I have a few more minutes before we get out of here.
Oh, yes, wonderful. Well, I'm a student of history, and I have a little bit of a background in archaeology as well. And I was just wondering, did you have somebody to help with, your cataloging and preservation and provenance? Somebody to perhaps help source new items for your collection? I mean, I've never really done that kind of work before, but I'm definitely skilled to do it and trained to do it. So I was just wondering if you might be in the market looking for someone to help you expand your collection a little bit.
Well, dear, that is so sweet, and I really admire your spirit. I think my dear Magnus was just doing this out of the kindness of his heart to really give that money back to the community. I don't think he necessarily, frankly cares what's in that casket as far as I know.
Oh, really? Well,
It'll
that's
probably look good in the basement, though.
the basement, you say? Well, interesting choice of arrangements. I was wondering then if you wouldn't mind just indulging me a little bit farther. If he doesn't seem to care too much what's on the inside of it, I do happen to be really interested in the insides in particular of ancient Egyptian artifacts. I was wondering, would you maybe be so generous as to allow me just a quick peek
Sure,
on the
why not?
inside of it?
It's my
Fantastic.
property now. Let's do it now.
Oh, that would be just great. Just one moment. I'm gonna just go use the bathroom and really excited, got a nervous pee here. And then let's go do it, okay?
All right.
And I'm just gonna be go to the bathroom. Holy shit, you guys! Text. She's gonna let me look inside of the sarcophagus really soon. Just stay here. I'll be right back. Send.
Oh, shit, wait, do you
Wait,
need backup?
Yeah, I have a really nice camera. At least take it and get a good photo for me.
Okay, I'll do that. Just stay nearby. Maybe.
Okay. I'll meet you in the bathroom.
Okay, cool.
In the bathroom.
In the bathroom.
One stall
swap the
over.
phones. Yeah.
Yeah, just both
No,
texting each other.
actually, yeah. I have a camera, so I'll give you it.
Just be like, hey, is there any toilet paper in yours? But you're passing over a camera.
Why are we being that sneaky? I can just hand you the camera.
All right, so you go find
Yeah.
Miss Lovat.
I do.
Mrs.
I can't
Lovat.
believe that worked. I'm really worried about what that means.
She takes you back behind the curtains where all the items are still at. They haven't really moved them yet. And Maven is there, and he's like, "Oh, Miss Lovat, thank you so much for your generosity." And she's like, "Yes, Maven. This is what was your name?"
Aviva Cone.
Vivian, they are going to check out some of my newfound property. And Maven's like, oh yes, of course, it's yours now, out of my hands. And he goes off the stage, and she does not leave you alone with it, but she pulls up one of those shitty plastic chairs from behind stage and kind of sits next to you. She says, so what do you think is in it? My interest is a little piqued now.
Honestly, I have no idea, but I have a hunch it'll be something beyond even the wildest dreams I could come up with.
Let's hope. Maybe there's more money inside.
You never know. Only one way to find out, I guess.
All right, well, have at it.
This is such a bad idea. I'm just gonna put on some little gloves so that my sticky human hands aren't degrading the materials.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna open the lid of the sarcophagus.
Okay, so you run your
because
hands.
I'm a smart person and I know what's good.
You run your hands along the coffin looking for a latch or something to open it up, but there's actually no crease. It is solid gold all the way around, sealed completely. And this is not like a brass coffin or a cheaper material. This entire thing is made of gold, just solid, complete gold.
Well, this is very interesting. And unusual, I might add.
Oh, it said money? Did you find more?
Well, you know what? Yeah, something really valuable is inside, but there's no way we can get it open because it doesn't really seem to have a lid or hinges of any kind.
Oh, bummer. Well,
Jeez, I sure wish there was a way to get inside.
you win some, you lose some, I suppose.
Yeah.
I guess it'll look good, at the very least.
I don't know what else to say. I can't just be like, yeah, I'm gonna break it, because that would be bad. I'm not gonna do that. This is me thinking. I'm not saying that in front of her. I'm not being like, I could break it.
Aviva, you get the sense that even with your golem powers, this thing is really solid.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure that whatever is in there really wants to stay in there and not be disturbed even by magical means, mythical means.
I know why you can't open it.
Why?
Wait, what?
Zuck touched it. It's a normal coffin that the Zuck touched.
Oh.
Pretty
This
sure
sucks.
that's what happened too. Yeah,
Cannon.
yeah, because that would be the main thing that would explain this.
I'm sorry. I keep having so many brain blasts this set. This is too much fun, Chris. You're
You're
killing
breaking
me.
Alex.
No.
I broke him.
Yeah.
He's broken.
Okay. I'll just give her my card and be like, call me if you change your mind about having somebody that can help expand the collection, all right?
Of course, dear. I'll pass this along.
Thank you. All right.
Nora like ambushes you immediately. What was in it?
So, funny thing about that is that I don't know, because it doesn't have an opening.
What kind of coffin doesn't have an opening?
Yeah, that's a really stupid coffin.
I think
Or a really
that
good
somebody has altered it in some way to try and keep whatever it is that's inside there from getting out.
You
I
think? But
also think we need to do some fun paperwork investigating and figure out, like run credit reports or taxes or something like that on this couple, because there is no way that they would just have 300 grand to
I
drop
mean-
like cash on that, would they? I mean, he's a judge, but like,
That's exactly why he has that much to drop on that. Why do you think
Also-
I'm like even in this field? I mean, come on.
but she didn't even think that it was like worth putting anywhere except for the basement. Like, I don't know. I think there's something else going on here.
Well,
He
I
has a
mean-
mythos,
rich,
right?
rich folks be rich folks.
Yes. Yes, I mean, didn't anybody else sort of get that sense of, power from him, so to speak?
all right.
We can
Yeah.
sense something in this sarcophagus. I'm sure he
Do-
can as well.
Do we think that Buddy Boy Brock had something to do with this coffin?
Ugh, I don't want to
It's
think
possible.
about Brock.
It's possible. I have
Because-
an idea,
They
though.
do all seem very, I suppose, familiar with each other here in terms of the collectors. So it wouldn't be a surprise if, Brock had seen it before and,
Yep.
was able to recognize something about it.
So do we think we can, I don't know, like, do you think that's reversible with the whole, gold touchy thing? Otherwise, we're just gonna have to smelt the hell out of it and get
Actu-
whatever's inside, if we ever even want it.
Actually, and in character, Google's King Midas.
And no, he can totally. No, I don't know if he can. Can he undo things? Because didn't he gold
Yeah.
his daughter up?
Not according to the myth, he can't.
Yeah, because he golded
That was
his
the
kid
whole
up.
problem. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Also-
he, washed
never
it
mind.
or something.
I'll
You
leave
know that whole be careful what you wish for thing, King
Yeah.
Midas in a nutshell.
Wait, do any of us know it? I pull out my whip of alchemy because alchemy is able to
In the middle of the
transmute-
museum?
Yeah, it's a museum. It's an auction of fancy items.
Oh, wait,
museum!
hold
I
on,
do
hold
it
on.
discreetly, okay? Discreetly.
Okay.
Discreet
Yo.
whips in a museum.
Whips are chilling these days.
Indiana Jones does it, why can't I?
Museum people love weapons with reach.
Indiana Jones does it, why can't I?
You need to get over your obsession with him. You're still not
It's
Indiana.
my favorite movie.
Look, we all know that you wish you were the mythos of Indiana Jones.
It's my favorite movie, okay?
One day we're gonna meet his mythos.
Hey,
Oh,
kid.
God. That could happen. That could happen.
Okay, so you got your whip out.
Maybe if we do something, because alchemy reverses gold or something like transmute. I
There's
had a
something-
thought, but
Possible.
then I got yelled at for taking the whip out in the middle of museum.
No. I hear what you're saying. I think it's worth a shot. I also think, my idea sounds much less ridiculous now that you thought maybe you could use a whip to ungoldify a casket. But I was gonna say, what if we needed to follow this into their house and need a way to get in? We could just pop off the lids of the other sarcophaguses and hide in them, and then get transported to the house and figure it out that way, which somehow
I love
seems
this
like
idea.
a more reasonable plan. But
Wait, no, I'm super into it. Yeah. Okay, let's go.
What?
I mean, I also just know his address and.
yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
that
I
could
work for the
too.
county he's the judge of.
I'm not used to people listening
that
to
guy?
what I have to
Oh,
say
asshole.
for legitimate business reasons.
Oh.
So Yeah, but Victor, let's check it out with the whip. Let's see if we can.
Can we even get close to it again?
So
kinda
you go
already
back there,
snoozed.
and it has been wheeled away.
Dang!
Damn it! Chris does want this heist to go down.
I do too. I
think
do
we
too.
all do.
I know. I was just hoping
But I
a mummy
still-
was gonna pop out and attack us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If like based on sort of the spaces that we've been in, are we able to sort of tell where like the storage for these artifacts has been? Like,
A lot
Um,
of facilities have storage off-site
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Because I
you
feel
get
like
the
as
feeling
a-
they did say they were going to clean them up and make sure they are okay
Yeah.
for transport. So you get the sense that they will be stored in this building for the next few days. It is
Okay.
Sunday night. They're going to be shipped on Tuesday, so you have a day in between to do anything you want. While this is all going down, you do all see Arlo. He takes his leave. He walks out the front door, and he's kind of stopped and he's talking to somebody for a little
who's
bit.
he speaking to?
He's talking to Claire, the individual who runs the museum, the curator.
Okay. Oh man, I don't know if I want to try talking to him or not. Has he given any indication that he's seen or recognized like Katya or Aviva?
He has not. He hasn't given any indication of that at all.
Okay.
I'd like to try and eavesdrop.
Okay. Let's make just another investigate check. I know we use it a lot, but it's good stuff.
I'd like to use our working on the DL tag from
Cool.
our Coven crew.
Mhm.
Three witches and an Indiana Jones, a Coven and Indiana. Let's see. I think that's the only one I really. Oh,
Three
Sixth
crones and an Indiana Jones. I think
Yeah,
was
that
what
was
There it
it.
is. It
I
was
was
three
thinking
crones
about
and
doing
Indiana-
Three Crones
It
and
had to
Indiana
rhyme,
Jones.
yeah.
Yep,
That's
yep.
right. Thank you. Thank you. I was like, it was much more clever when I originally.
Wait,
came up with
three?
it.
What?
Yeah, there's
Four.
four.
I
Wow.
just
Four
don't know how to
crowns.
count.
No, we were saying 3 last week too. What happened?
I don't know
Oh,
what
because the Coven
happened.
comes in threes. That's why. That's
Oh,
what my
Three
brain
is a
automatically
magic
okay.
defaulted.
number.
That makes sense.
So Sixth Sense as well.
Okay, go for it. Investigate.
All right, cool. Plus
For
2.
flavor, Katya will be like sort of with Victor, just like
Sure.
you know, in
11.
case.
Nice. Okay, so you use 3 tags?
2.
2. So you get 2 clues to ask me about what they are talking about.
Are they talking about the auction at all?
They are not really talking about the it comes up in like niceties. They're like, "Oh, great auction, Claire. It was great to be a part of it. I really enjoyed watching, even if I don't have the cash on me to bid right now." And Claire, they say, "Well, it was nice having you as always, Arlo. I know you are a fine purveyor of the museum."
Okay, so they're See, it's hard because I don't know what to really ask. What they're talking. Can I get do I have it? What are they talking about in general? Like,
Okay. They seem like old friends, not even friends, just like almost like workplace acquaintances. You get the vibe that Arlo comes to the museum a lot, and Claire knows them through that, or knows him through that. And they are talking about the rest of Arlo's night, and Claire says, "Oh, they have you working overtime tonight?" And Arlo says, "Yep, back to the office. I'm headed there right now, and then I'll probably head home. Luckily, home's not far from the office, so."
I'd like to use kind of like I don't know what I'd call it. I want to pick up on like his social cues, his facial cues, kind of like do the human lie detector test type thing on him.
Sure, I'll just say that's like part of one of the clues.
Okay.
So insight kind of, he is definitely hiding something. He is not on his way to work. He is definitely going somewhere else. And it seems, if he's telling you the truth of the direction at least, that he is not going to Lenore's house.
He's not going to Lenore. Can I pick up on where he might be heading from his conversation?
He seemed to emphasize going back to his apartment more so than going to work.
But that's not true.
No, that part could be true. He's definitely not going to work.
He's not going to work, but okay. I'll see if does that coffin come up at all? The golden coffin?
Nope, it does not.
All right. Can I like just hold on to a clue,
Sure.
or do I have to use it in this specific instance?
You can hold on to it as long as the subject is the same. So you can't use it about something that happened with the jackals, but you can use it about something that happened about this conversation.
All right, so like if we decide to tail Arlo out of here, I can use the clue later and say, hey, I want to see if I can pick up from anything from
Sure.
that conversation. Okay.
As long as it's called back to the moment that you used it.
Okay, I'll put a tag on here. I'm gonna put a tag, Arlo and Clara chat.
Claire. Okay.
Claire. Is
Yep.
it Claire? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Argyle and Clara.
Argyle and
Clara.
You
You're
mentioned.
welcome, Chris.
Yeah, thank you. You
Sorry,
mentioned
Chris.
you mentioned tailing him. If you want to do that, I'm not saying you have to, but he is moving towards his car. So
Okay, so like if we're gonna make a decision, so are we gonna like follow that Arlo guy out of here? You didn't bid anything, and honestly, I picked up most of what he was talking about with Claire.
I mean,
Ooh, maybe we should follow him to figure out where he lives, and maybe we can find out what's in the safe.
That's true. He did
Yeah.
say a bunch of stuff.
we do know his work address at least, so if he's
His
actually going
work
there.
address.
That's
Yeah,
He's not
true.
going
If we can
there.
find his
Yeah.
residential address.
All right. Well, then we need to hustle if that's what we're going to do. Do
So
we
if
want
we're-
to split up? All go together.
So we did mention wanting to go to the office, and we know he's not gonna be at the office. I could tell just from the way he was talking.
Oh well,
Oh,
excellent.
so-
Okay,
So if we
so
do
some
want to
of us-
split up, we could split up and have some of us go to his office, see if he's got it there, and then I'll take Kira again, and we can see if we can find out where he lives and see if he's got the safe there and see what else he gets himself up to.
I'm gonna say from a meta point of view, there's nothing much at the office right now.
Okay.
Oh,
just,
Alright.
just,
No.
just to save you time.
So just have a character.
Yeah.
Someone just shoot me down in character, then that's fine.
Fuck you, Victor.
You're like, oh no, but I mean, you know, nobody's
offices
gonna.
are boring. Why would he keep the safe
Yeah.
stuff in his office? Obviously, we'd be at home.
I
Right,
mean,
but-
even Lenora didn't keep her, important things at her actual work office.
And
Well,
if he's
Actually, we found an empty.
Now we're all
desk there.
shooting it down.
But
I was just trying to save you time because it's a limited campaign.
Okay, let's go to
Okay,
let's follow him home then.
Yeah.
That's when Victor's like, all right, y'all bring up a good point. I wouldn't keep stuff where I work either, okay? Thought. Jeez.
Garbage
Hurriedly
is a
writes
bad
note.
idea. God.
Hurriedly
okay,
makes a reminder. Siri, remind me to change, move where I put everything in my office.
at MC, I also want to note that I totally have a dash cam going into this.
Nice.
Victor's the kind of person who has a dash cam.
He's got a
so
dash, yeah.
would. He
So
totally
just
would.
for the point of his home movies that he makes home documentaries.
Oh,
Oh, God.
He does.
Okay,
That's
He's
the
documenting
worst.
his life as Van Helsing.
Oh, that's
and it just
actually
gets weirder and
this-
weirder.
Victor's so lame.
so weird.
All right, so you hop in the car.
Wait, what's that?
You hop in the car. It is lightly snowing as you all are laughing about how weird fucking Victor is. You look at Victor's dash cam and then he flicks on quick when he turns the car on.
What, dude?
Look, if we're gonna be tailing the guy, we might need to like go back and check.
I mean, sure, but also you're weird.
Yeah, that's super weird, dude.
You're super
Alright.
hella weird.
I was in the documentary making for a bit there. All right, just shut up, everybody.
You open his glove box, a few GoPros fall out.
And there's totally like a little like picture of his cats in his glove box.
Oh
my God.
No, it's now canon that the documentaries are just day in the life of Victor's
Yeah.
cat.
It's totally about the cats. He has
Yeah.
a stream that's just a live stream that's just his cats. And
Kira definitely sits
He claims
further
it's
away
for
from Victor now.
Also, it's worth noting that both his cats are dressed up like witches.
Nice.
Wait, that's cute. You redeemed yourself a tiny bit there.
Oh my
All right, so
God.
as you are moving away from downtown towards the industrial district, the streets are not as well paved. There are potholes that you can't help but hit because there are so many of them. You're definitely heading to the outskirts of town. You follow Arlo for a while. He drives a beat-up old sedan, and he continues through the roads. Obviously not a wealthy person's vehicle, as you just saw a bunch of wealthy individuals. He eventually parks in front of a beat-down apartment building. There are broken windows, collapsed chain fences around it. The only thing that is really lighting this up are a few street lights and the moon as it is kind of shining down on the light layer of snow on the ground. Arlo waits a second, turns his car off, he walks up to the door, he buzzes in and walks up to a window. You see that there's no lights on out of all the apartments, but there is like one with the shitty plastic blinds that are kind of half broken because they always break. And you do hear a muffled, like really, really muffled because you're on the other side of the road, a door open and close, and then a light turn on in one of the apartments.
Okay.
You wait a little while longer, and you see another car pull up, but it's a really nice car. It's a BMW. Parks it across the road, and he gets out. Individual wearing a gray hoodie, hiding his face. He has sunglasses on. However, one telltale sign is his parachute pants. This is definitely Brock Beckett.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
He walks with a drunken swagger kind of across the road.
I hate him.
I hate him too.
Tells his driver to wait in the car.
So what? This was an apartment building, you said, right?
Yeah.
What floor was he on?
He was on the 3rd floor.
Of course he was.
That's Victor's new weakness tag, 3rd floor.
All right, fine.
Compelled to jump.
I'm actually gonna put it. Since you gave me the M1911, I'll put it under the magic arsenal. I'll call it the 13th floor.
Sure.
Are you actually putting it on? That's awesome. Perfect.
That's so good. Like...
The curse of the 3rd floor.
Yeah, I'm calling it 13th floor, and
okay.
with an emphasis on the 3.
Okay.
Oh, that's brilliant.
One in parentheses.
Yes, like the old 70s bands that would title their albums.
So are we going up there, or?
I mean, what? Are we gonna be like, oh, we're selling Girl Scout cookies? What's our reason?
Not a bad idea.
I don't know.
Do any of you have like handy powers at like, you know, listening to people from far away or anything like that would be, you know, conveniently helpful right now? Or are we just good at like cutting people?
I
mean, that was like a collective question.
Neither of. Go ahead.
Oh no, you first. It's fine.
I was just gonna say neither of those really. I was kind of just thinking that I would take out Golden Pony Boy's driver and then, I'm driving the car now.
Look at me, I'm the driver now.
Yeah, exactly.
That would not be a bad idea,
That's not
though.
a bad idea.
But so I wouldn't be going into the building if I did that, obviously.
We could do a bird infestation.
Yeah.
Hold on. Opens up trunk, has like jumpsuits in the trunk. They're like his work jumpsuits for when he goes to like a crime scene.
I'm just saying, like, I can make birds. You can make birds. I'm kind of scared.
What am I saying? Just pretend that we're like, you know, one of the religious groups that goes door to door and is like, excuse me, do you have a few minutes to talk about?
What? It's like 10 p.m. right now.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he's Brock at least has seen all of us.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And
I mean,
Arlo has
pretend
seen
you're
most
selling-
of us.
Pretend you're selling drugs. Brock likes drugs.
Would you like to support the Girl Scouts of America? We have literal crack cocaine, pure heroin.
Teach me to do business.
Here's the thing, though. Oh God. I guess our best idea is to take out the driver, but he could just call the cops on us again.
I know. I don't mean, like, to what ends? What are we taking the driver out for?
Well, God, I'm gonna call the cops on us. I was thinking because if he was out of the picture, then Brock came back downstairs. I'm sorry. He came back.
We're broken. We're
Sure,
broken.
I'm still okay with just like, what if we summon a bunch of birds in the room so they have to leave, and then we sneak someone in?
I was
Bird
thinking.
infestation, our new combined tag.
That could actually work. That's actually.
Bird infestation. a murder of crows.
No,
Oh,
they're geese.
boo.
I'm terrified of geese. It's actually,
Geese
They're
are
ter-
terrifying.
All right, what are we
Scary.
doing, crew? What's your goal here?
I'm actually liking
idea-
the bird infestation thing, and then
I
we
do
sneak
too.
in during the chaos.
Yeah, I like that actually. I do like the idea.
Yep.
I will say the window is
Sure.
closed.
It is winter. So
Yeah.
Why don't, okay, here's my idea then.
We just
Why
go
don't I
in.
why don't I use some juice? Because I have it.
Ah,
Okay.
there you go.
Okay.
Pulls out a little box. I've got
Mhm.
juice.
I'm
Okay.
a door-to-door juice salesman.
I feel like we're still talking about drugs.
Yeah, I think we're still.
No, listen, it's a literal Capri Sun, all right? Do not take this away from me. I'm gonna just pull it out and drink it and then be like, what if I imbued the birds with some of my, like, golem strength powers so that they were strong enough to
Wait,
fly
you can
through
do
the
that?
window
Do that?
and break it? I don't know if this is a thing that works in the game. I'm
Or
trying
we
to
could
find
just
a
use the juice to be like, that window is open.
Wait, oh my god!
All right.
All right, that's it. I break the window.
It's open. Okay, sorry, the juice. The window is open. I thought that
Okay.
I had to use a mythos tag to use the juice. So I
The window
was
is not
like,
open. I thought-
How can I make the?
All right. So you use your juice. There's a very strong breeze, and the window kind of creaks open a little bit.
Okay, I guess I'll try to summon birds. Still try to summon birds.
Yeah, I guess I'll run inside because apparently no one. We're not prepared. Give me a second.
Yeah, why don't we wait until everybody's positioned? Just, send us a text when you're ready and we'll infest
the
with
worst.
birds, I guess.
So we'll see if it works. I'm not very good at making birds.
I'm like into my purse, like, this is probably gonna work great, right, Yorick? Yeah, okay.
This is gonna be epic failure. I'm so
fail.
excited.
Yorick audibly shakes his head no.
I'm so
You all just
sorry,
hear
Chris.
rattling
Yeah,
bones.
just crack.
Chris,
I was working on the down low, a bunch of birds yesterday.
No.
Chris, I'm so sorry. I'm
I'm
sorry. I have nothing else.
Yeah,
for
this
you.
one got away from us.
It really did. It was fine, and then it suddenly wasn't.
It wasn't fine from the get-go.
No.
We couldn't decide how to play.
All right, let's reel it in for 20 minutes. First thing, I need either Nora or Katya to make a change the game check to try to summon these birds. I don't care who.
Okay. Give it a go. It was your idea.
Oh no, see, I'm worse at it though, so it's okay if you do it.
Oh, alright. I mean, I'll
Summoning
give it
birds
a
is
try.
my bad point.
Alright, well, I will give it a try.
I mean, but
Alright.
can we both do it and both try to make our separate brand of birds? Because I have geese and she has pigeons.
I'm gonna say no.
I got a 9. Mine are generically just birds,
Yeah.
too, so...
Okay.
I got a 9, though, so...
Okay.
Yeah. Why don't we all just take a break real quick for like 10 minutes, and
Oh my
we'll be right
God.
back. We're gonna all take a bio break because we're running long.
Sorry.
we're back. We took some much needed R&R.
We needed a second.
And we're
I
here.
don't know how much it helps.
So as far as my understanding, we're gonna retcon the birds thing a little bit because Katya and Nora were just about to invoke their powers and they called it off. So we're gonna retcon that a little bit and see what the crew wants to do now.
Is there a fire escape near that window?
There is.
Oh, let's go to that fire escape then. Oh boy.
Do you want all of us, or maybe just the ones we know are best at sneaking, and then we can have others watching?
Me and Kira.
Definitely the sneaky people should go sneak.
Me and Kira.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, let's go. Yeah.
Stay away from the third floor, though.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know if
you
you're
got
allowed.
it.
If you see a window, resist the temptation to jump through it and out to the floor.
Okay, yeah, so we'll go up the fire escape and get close to that window.
Okay, so you go. It's on the left side of the building. You think just from earshot, like that you could probably hear still if the window's still cracked a little bit open. So you could probably hear any conversation. It's not directly in front of the window, so they wouldn't be able to really see you. But and again, it's 3 floors up, so it is a bit of a climb. And you both kind of hike up the stairs. Roll me sneak around checks, both of you.
Sneaking
Okay.
around. All right, wait. Let me look.
Sneaking around.
Working on the DL.
We're gonna use Victor's weakness of 3rd floor for fun.
Hey, we're not even at the 3rd
I know
floor
we're
yet,
not doing birds
Mister.
anymore, but I
Yeah,
really
you're
like
climbing
my
to
new
the 3rd
background.
floor.
I'll do.
Fine,
working
I'll
on the-
take.
Yeah, go for it. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Go ahead. I'm thinking.
Okay, I'll probably use working on the DL, moving along the walls, and then maybe, I guess those 2, unless surprise motherfucker counts.
No, we'll just say the first 2.
That was a tag!
Okay, sounds good.
First 2.
Okay, so I'm gonna use. I know I've got the weakness tag for
You don't have to do
for
that.
3rd floor. I
You
mean,
don't-
I'll take
no,
it.
it's
Whatever. Working on the DL, I'm gonna use my whip because that's how I'm gonna try and climb the fire escape. Is I'm gonna try and Indiana Jones up there because I wish I was Indiana Jones.
Sick.
I want to use stunts because it is stunty.
Okay.
And then I want to try and use Sixth Sense if I can get away with it. Because I could because I could be able to judge if they're looking my way or like when to climb and when not to climb.
I'm gonna say no on that one.
Okay, I tried. Don't go in the sales, Alex.
Pretty good argument though.
That's what I thought. I mean, I
Not
can
bad.
take that weakness of 3rd floors if you want.
No, it's fine. It's a joke.
Good thing I have an extra. I just dropped the D6. 12.
Cool.
Dirty dynamite.
Dirty dynamite. Okay, so you both have rolled
Don't call it that. That's gross.
great successes. So you both sneak up this fire escape well. You pass by a few windows of people enjoying TV. There's the classic shirtless round guy kind of laying down on his back with a bowl of popcorn, and he kind of like looks over towards you after you move, so he doesn't actually see you. But you continue on up the stairs. You get to the 3rd floor. You are right outside his window, basically, because he has a corner apartment. And you are not next to the window necessarily, but close enough to hear what's going on. And you hear the following conversation. You hear Arlo say, "You strung out, fool. We needed you for one thing, and you couldn't stay sober until it was over, could you?" And you hear Brock say back, "Bro, alright, I swear, they shoved the ambrosia in my face. I was clean the whole night until they came along." Arlo continues, "Who is they? Why do you keep talking about they?" And Brock goes on, "Well, there was these, 4 girls. One of them was a goth chick. There's, this weird dude with him. He had, this whip. I think he likes to be Indiana Jones or something like that. And the rest of it, there was, a few stuck-up ones, and I don't know. And that's kind of what I saw." And he goes on, and Arlo says, "Well, that sounds like the people that were poking around Lenore's too. Okay, lay low here. Once it gets to Magnus's house, they'll never find it. It's okay. I'll pay you for your services. You can lay low here for a while. Once it's there, we'll let you go. You'll be fine." he says, "Look, bro, I really appreciate it. I know sometimes you think I'm a bit of a fuck up, but I'll tell my driver to leave. I'll stay here. Can I have the bed though?" And then you just hear them yelling about like who's gonna sleep where for a little while.
That's when I look over at Kira, give like one of those like yikes looks. Like, oh yikes.
Hello. Okay. I think I'll text. Oh God, for some reason I totally forgot. I'll text Victor because I don't want to like give away by whispering. And I'll be like, should we just stay up here until they go to sleep? Then we can sneak around in there while they're sleeping? Question marks?
Victor remembered to silence his phone before sneaking up. That's why I randomly rolled the dice.
Oh, sorry.
No,
I was
it's
thinking
okay.
that.
I was like, I'm waiting for someone to say.
Oh yeah, I just quickly thought of my phone. I'm like, shit.
So I get your text, and I'm just like, yeah.
This isn't group text, so anyone can reply. Sorry. So.
Oh,
Good
what's
idea.
pretext?
Oh, just maybe we should stay up there, wait until they fall asleep, then kind of bust in and I don't know, find out what's in the safe, and it looks like Brock is gonna stay here overnight.
I guess we could quietly bust in, but I want to keep my eyes on this driver first and see where
Hey,
he's
why
going.
don't you just talk to the driver? He doesn't know you.
I don't know. We're spreading our faces around a lot. It seems like a bad idea if I just go, "Hey, buddy, what's up?" when we literally know that like Brock doesn't like us and I broke his statue.
That was a really ugly statue. I'm glad you broke it.
It
That is
deserved
not
to
really
be
ours.
broken. Sorry.
Quite
I
tasteless.
heard like 3 people at once. Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. My brain just like totally crashed there. I'm
Sorry.
okay with staying and maybe not smashing in, but like sneaking around quietly after they've all gone to sleep. But I also don't mind just like posting guard at the entrance to the apartment building, you know, that way if somebody that we know is going to the place seems like they're coming up, I can give you guys a heads up and be like, "Hey, someone's on their way to this apartment, better hide in a closet or something."
So I mean, we can do both, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
So sneak around and I'll just keep watch, I guess.
Okay, so we
Okay.
do that.
Yeah.
Victor and Kira, you can just keep your stealth rolls, your sneaking around rolls, and you kind of wait a while. You hear Brock cry for a while, and then he stops. So you're assuming he fell asleep.
Nope, still don't
Why
pity
is
him.
he crying?
Go ask.
Because he's the worst and he
Um,
knows it.
And
I
you
guess.
Arlo is up in his study for a while. He's writing in his journal, or he's not writing. He's just reading books about just random bullshit. Nothing. He's just winding down for the night. And you see him fall asleep on the couch in his study. Turn off the lamplight. And you're free to do what you want.
Is this the part where we break in?
I think so. Okay.
Soft break it.
Okay. We break in.
Okay. Open the window
Are
up
we
slightly. Stage whisper.
Yep, we're opening.
You open up the window slightly. Yeah, one leg after the other. Brock is sleeping on the bed in the other room. It's not a big apartment. It's like 2 rooms. There's the study. He doesn't even have a living room, as he's not expecting like guests here. Apparently, he has an office and a bedroom. Brock is asleep on the bed to your right. He is in the gray hoodie and it has like water stains. He was crying a little bit. And Arlo is in the other room.
I look over at Kira. You know, the finger over the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
She flips him off. I'm like, yeah, no shit, you idiot.
He
I
kind of
guess
like
we-
returns the favor.
And I guess we just we look around for maybe figure out what was in the safe and
All right,
any other
let's do
damning
it.
evidence.
Yeah,
Investigation
Victor
checks,
nods.
please, from both of you, as we are going to the street while you make those. The 3
I
of
was
you.
gonna ask if I.
Mhm.
was gonna ask if I could use my clue.
Oh yeah, sure. What is your
I don't
question?
know how I'll do it, but
Now think about it. Okay, so we go back to the street.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
The three of you see the driver, Brock's driver. He is getting out Brock's luggage. He has a few bags that he has packed. Apparently, bless you. He has a few bags, and he has gotten those out of the back of the limo style car that he is driving. It's like a BMW, but it's like a little too long. It's for show. And he gets them out, and he is taking them up to the apartment building.
I'll just text the group and be like, do we want Brock to have to be stuck here for a while?
I'll reply, I think the plan was already for him to stay the night, so...
I mean, hurt the car so he can't leave for a while.
Oh, I don't know if it would keep him, really. He would just be able to have somebody probably bring a whole other car knowing this fucker.
That's a good...
Maybe we should
I need
stop the driver from getting inside with the stuff so he sees them sneaking around.
I need to start thinking like a rich person. Okay, I have an idea for starting a commotion. I'm gonna use my golem powers to thicken up my arms a little bit, and I'm just gonna start punching the car, trying to dent it, break windows, do stuff like that.
All right.
Okay. I will say, this is part of the character weakness, is that when I go into this state, subtlety is not my strong suit at that point. So
all right, so
I'm just gonna start pretending I'm some annoying person that's just messing with the car.
Okay, so you start punching the shit out of this car.
Katya, should we stop her?
I think it's too late.
The alarm goes off on the car as you're punching the shit out of it. And the driver turns around. He's like, "Hey, what the fuck?" And he starts just running towards the car.
I'm just gonna be like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Is this your car? My finger slipped."
Your finger slipped.
Apologize, but
there's a boulder-sized dent in the cap.
I'm sorry. I'm big boned. That's what my mom calls it anyway.
All right. Well, do you have information or something? My client might be rich, but he's not paying for this.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry, but I'm just a poor little teenager. I don't have any car insurance in my own name. It's all in my parents' name. Oh, please don't tell them. They're gonna kill me.
All right, make a convince check.
Can I use juice to empower myself to make this more convincing?
You can use juice to give him a tag, so he has a negative on believing you, basically.
Okay, I'm going to make him be weak to crying females.
Okay, he's got that tag now.
So he just
Soft
is like, "Oh, please don't cry." I mean, why just make him weak to crying people in distress? Regardless. Okay, what do I have any tags that can go with
So
this?
you can use +1 because he's weak to crying people.
Okay,
so you can add that to your roll.
All right, let me just double check and make sure there's nothing else that I could.
If this doesn't work, I have an idea. I would have to roll really well, probably.
Yeah, definitely not working on the DL. All right, let's just roll.
There's no DL here.
We don't even know the meaning. That should have been our weak tag.
Mm-hmm.
There is no DL. I rolled a 9 total.
Okay, so so he is convinced to an extent. So he you can stop him from being upset with you, basically, but he's still gonna call the police. So he gets out his phone. He's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. I mean, this rich punk has got plenty of money, but I do need to call the authorities here. I gotta follow the rules." And he begins calling the authorities.
Oh, snap. Oh, crap. Can I trick him that my coroner's office badge is a law enforcement badge? And see,
Katya, if I can, Katya will try and stroll, kind of come over, and just let, like, once she sees the phone in his hand, and just be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry about my friend. I think she may have had just a little too much to drink, but I don't think there's any need at all to, need to involve the authorities. We can straighten this out, just the two of us. And I would like to use my these are not the droids you're looking for tag."
Alright, last convince roll on this guy.
This guy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it would probably have to be like,
Yeah,
a really
very
good
convincing.
success at this point. But that is kind of my jam, and I have a bunch of tags that can work.
I believe in
so-
you. You got this.
Winning smile, silver tongue. These are not the droids you're looking for.
There we go. Thanks, Katya.
10.
10. Alright. He looks you up and down, and he's like, alright, he looks pretty official. And he puts his phone away. Little flip phone, shitty thing. He's like, alright, well, you know what? I don't really care for this rich guy anyways, so I'll just tell him that somebody hit me in a parking lot. Just don't punch any more cars tonight, okay? I don't care if you're on ambrosia. I don't care if you're really drunk. Just be careful, okay?
Absolutely, we appreciate it. I promise I'll keep a much closer eye on my friends this evening.
Please do. He gets in the car, he
What?
takes the luggage up and drops it.
Okay.
I'll just sort of shoo us like around to get out of his immediate
Mhm.
line of sight.
Wait, did
Then
he go into
immediate-
the apartment to drop off the luggage?
No, he just dropped it
Or-
at the door.
He just dropped it at the
Okay.
door. Immediately at that point, I just like stop the whole like crying helplessness facade and just be like, "Hey, thanks, I owe you one," to Katya.
Very good punching.
Yeah, the thing about this is that sometimes I act before I think about it. Totally. Anyway, it worked out though, and on the bright side, he has a terrible looking car now, so
I mean, that is true.
to match his terrible statues.
And his terrible personality.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so
Well,
inside,
Yeah.
we've got Kira making an investigation check, and Victor's going to use his clues. So go ahead and...
I only have the one clue.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think of like if he possibly could have said something in that conversation that would have tipped me off. Something like when he was emphasizing going home, maybe like he, like gotta get home and feed the dog. Gotta get home and polish the old relic.
Mhm.
Something like that.
So you get the sense that he was meeting Brock here, and that was kind of why he wanted to go home so bad.
Okay.
From their conversation, you can ascertain that they mentioned that when Magnus has the items, then Brock can leave the house. They
Alright.
said multiple items, so you can maybe assume that they are in Magnus's care and not Arlo's.
Okay. And then the one other thing before Kira gets full reign, I want to check Brock's ankle. I want to see if he did get booked and picked up and is out on bail.
He did not.
That's interesting. Okay, I will. Go ahead. Go ahead, Cindy.
He might know a chief judge or two.
Do you want to roll the investigation? I don't really have like that many good points in it.
I mean, we could try Chris, could we both do it and see who turns up what?
Sure. I'll let you both do it, and only take the one that does better.
Okay.
Ooh,
I know, like-
advantage.
Yeah, it's kind of advantage.
I know in D&D you'll do your collective checks.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah, I think you might have to do it because I rolled a 5.
I want to use occult knowledge, sixth sense, string of letters, and working on the DL.
Okay.
I for detail.
Eye for detail. That's way better. I only had 1.
If you're gonna let me use all 4 of those, I'm going to.
Yeah, then.
Oh
You
wait, do you
literally
want me to
have to
add the
roll
third
better.
floor weakness?
Yeah, you're on
All
the
right.
third floor now.
That's a 9.
Okay. So here's what this means. You have a soft success, basically. You either get fuzzy or incomplete answers to your clues, or they expose you to danger.
Okay.
So you get to pick one. I'll let you pick. It doesn't really matter who picks. So it's more fun to watch you guys pick.
Oh God, I don't know about that.
Well, fun for Chris.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I
right.
meant.
All right,
That's
so
fun for everyone, right?
What are we picking between?
Fuzzy or incomplete clues, or your investigation has exposed you to danger.
Danger is that they wake up and then wreck our shit. So maybe fuzzy details.
Yeah, I agree with Cindy here. Fuzzy details.
Yeah.
Okay. You have 3 clues to use in this room about this apartment. Since you did it together, if Kira wants to chime in too on these clues, you can kind of share them.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm willing to share them if I
Yeah.
was able to anyway. Yeah, because like Cindy, you've definitely got more of the mind for the investigation than I do.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking for.
First of all, is the safe here?
Oh no, the safe is not here because
Well,
it was
the
broken
object
into.
is there some? That's a good point. This is why you're picking Cindy.
I'll let you all chime in if you want to do like a group text situation. So anybody who
yeah.
wants to split
Turn the
these,
bright-
we'll just
turn-
split them.
I
Turn
guess
brightness
the
down on
better
both.
question is anything that is Nora's like
Nora?
like not his.
Oh, Lenore.
Oh, no, Lenore's. I'm sorry, Lenore's that is in like.
That's a
in this
good one. Yeah. Is there anything of Lenore's present in the apartment?
Not really. Sorry to burn a clue, but he didn't really keep much from her. He didn't seem. He seemed like he was being fake sentimental the entire time, anyways. And now you kind of have suspicions that he doesn't give a shit. So.
All right. So you mentioned that he kind of like gives off this vibe of I'm just like kind of a nerd who's into this stuff. I'm not really one of the rich people.
Mhm.
Is there something in here that implies, besides Brock's presence, that this guy's got money?
No, actually, I'll say you find the opposite. This is a really rundown apartment. It's not really nice. His effects are not super wealthy. He's kind of getting by on what he's got at his disposal.
All right. And then I thought of one other one, but I'm going to double check with Cindy before, so don't answer it right away. You want to see if we can figure out his mythos?
Hell yeah!
Okay, yeah. Is
Hell
there
yeah.
anything that,
That's
like
great.
how,
That's a great one.
you know how like Victor carries around like the Dracula book and has like a bunch of like,
Yeah.
gothic horror paraphernalia? Anything like that for this guy?
Sure. You scan your finger across his bookshelf a little bit. And it does say he has a few books on Egyptian mythology. And he has one that he was reading before bed that's kind of on his bedside table, and it's the origin story of Set, the Egyptian god.
Confirmation.
Hey.
But you rolled a 9, so it could be fuzzy or incomplete.
So like I
Can
kind of.
I-
Oh, sorry.
Real quick, can I use juice to help clarify some of that and be like, no, like check the index
or
or
I
check
can-
the
or I can
table
do
of
the- yeah.
contents or something?
Or I can use the juice as well because I'm actually here and I have 2 left.
I think that would have been before the roll. You could have used juice to
okay.
empower his roll.
I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it basically,
Yeah.
juice creates like a tag to assist somebody. So if you wanted to give him the tag of like, private eye or something like that, you could have done it at that point.
I see.
We'll
Sorry
say
about that.
I'll remind you that going forward, just because I don't really, juice is new to me too, so.
Okay, yeah, no worries.
All
Neat
right. So,
mechanic though.
so
Yeah,
I kind
it's
of like.
cool.
So I kind of like pull, like, well, not like I signal Kira
Yeah.
to come and look at the book and be like, point at it, like emphasize the set part.
It's like, okay. Yeah, I Google it because I'm just like, who the hell is that? It's like, you put it in the name, I'm like, okay, yeah, I totally know that. I don't know that. Okay, and now, like, we're just standing in this room just being like, so, now what?
I would like to imagine that's like when Arlo is like,
Yeah.
does the almost wakes up and we're both like, oh shit, we gotta go.
Okay.
What happens as you're kind of doing that is your phone lights up, Victor, and you're
no.
getting a phone call from your best friend.
Oh shit.
I keep forgetting your name, but
Sylvia.
thank you. Yeah, it says Sylvia on your phone, and it's, green to accept, red to decline.
Gotta get out of here. Oh no. I'm like panicking at Kira, like,
Okay, Alex pushing him out towards the window. Wait, maybe not. I don't push him out the window. I push him towards the window. I don't push him out the window.
Okay. You both get onto the fire escape. Go ahead, at this point, make another sneak around check for both of you.
I want to use the
Okay.
same tags from before. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I will too.
If you want to use juice now, you could to empower like this role. You could create a story tag of like, a truck driving by so it's louder or something like that.
Yeah, I'll use a juice point to do that then.
Yeah.
Okay, would you like
Oh.
just a loud noise so you're kind of covered or like something like that?
Yeah. Even without the juice, I'm surpassing 12.
All right.
Yeah, I got a 12.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you're both extra stealthy on the way out. Victor, your phone's still ringing as you reach the bottom of the fire escape.
Now I answer it.
Okay.
Hello.
You hear Sylvia's voice. She's rushed. She's panicked. She's a little out of breath. She's like, "Hey,
Is everything okay?
yeah, it's fine. Look, I was looking into that Lenore person that died that you asked about.
Yeah.
So I finally got in, and her body was never here. We have no evidence of her body being here at all.
Wait, what the fuck? Oh,
That's
who
where
the
we'll
fuck
end
what?
tonight's session.
No! You bastard!
You guys, she's in the sarcophagus! She's totally inside the sarcophagus!
Oh God, no! That's totally
Chris, you son of a bitch! You play us like fiddles. You're like, yeah, let them flail like the fools they are.
Yep.
Because I'm gonna hit them real good at the end of this one.
Yep, I did.
Wow, this is revenge for the birds, isn't it?
Yep, Revenge of the Birds.
Let's go, cocaine!
Oh my god, she's gotta be inside the sarcophagus!
Why?
I didn't even, dude, what? We need to get inside that thing. What if she's still alive? Fuck.
Heist session.
Heist.
This,
I also like how we're all probably still super fancy because we came right from the
Yeah.
action.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
one
Oh,
really
yeah,
cool
in my
thing about
backlog.
this, it's not in the the player's guide or the MC toolkit, but they came out recently. I guess we'll plug City of Mist here at the end. They recently came out with an expansion called Fortune's Row, and it actually has a heist rule set
Oh, cool.
that I really
Oh,
wanted to
that's
incorporate somehow.
dope.
Um,
Yeah, that's dope.
It's
That's
also one of the
awesome.
districts in this city and this. in
I was
Barlow
about
City,
to
so,
say,
yep.
yeah, that's the place where you told us the Ambrosia Club was. It's
Yep.
in Fortune's Row. Nice.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, so I'm definitely,
Well, I'm
most of the
excited.
districts I use are their stuff. So, yeah, so that's really cool.
Cool.
Hopefully we'll get to that, obviously, depending on what y'all do, but I'm just saying it'll be cool.
Heist. I want a heist. This is like the
I'm
system
here
to
for,
it.
I'm
This
here for
is
formal
Heist
heist.
system, yeah. All right,
I'm so excited. I
Oh,
just
I'm so
started
excited.
shaking. It's great.
let's go around and plug as we end the evening. Sam, you want to kick us off?
Sure. Hey everyone, I am Sam. You can find me on Twitter at @thesamwisest. I am samwise_gameg here on Twitch. I'm a TTRPG streamer and a disability advocate. You can see me most of the time right here on Chromatic Chimera. I will be back, I guess not this Monday, but starting May 11th on Mondays, you can find me here with No Initiative playing Wildmount, Daring, and Divine. Super excited about that. We're working on character art today. It's going to be really cool. On the first Tuesday of the month, you can see me in Elsewhere, our monthly campaign, right back here at the Chromatic Chimera. And on Wednesdays, I am here on Steam Spell and Agora's Bells. Come watch us hopefully not die next Wednesday. And I'm also a producer over on Heroes Without Limits, so check us out if you want to help support gamers with who are disabled and chronically ill or neurodivergent, and follow us there at H Without Limits. And I think that's all I got going on right now.
Sick. Thank you, Nevi.
I'm Nevi, and yeah, you can follow me on Twitter. I don't post anything. I'm also in Tales-A-Minary. You can watch that on YouTube. It's cute. I'm a cat currently.
Great. Thank you, Cindy.
Exactly what Nevi said. We're both in Tales from Minary. Hopefully that's going to start back up, not this Sunday, but the coming Sunday. So check us out. And if you can't catch us there, then come see like everything else on, Chromatic Chimera. They're great folks and great people. To Popcorn Anna.
Yep, Anna.
Yes, I'm Anna. You can find me on Twitter at Emiria941. Also on YouTube, I have a channel that's just Anna Goldberg. That's my name, where I make videos about books, board games, and tabletop RPGs. I'm currently co-hosting a disability-centered readathon over on YouTube, so check it out if you want to learn some more about that. And I can also be found streaming on Wednesdays in the Guards game over on Encounter Roleplay. It's a D&D 5e game that is based around like Terry Pratchett style sensibilities. And oh yeah, last thing upcoming, I'm going to be a panelist for the Our Fantasy Virtual Con over on Reddit. That's coming up on Thursday, April 30th. So if you want to come ask me questions about fantasy books and reading and stuff like that, that's where I'll be.
Sick, thank you. Alex.
Hi, I'm Alex. You probably know me as Mr. Puddins. That's where I go and talk about RPGs on the internet. So follow me on Twitter if you're into that. I'll probably do some screaming about City of Mist because it's so much fun. So I'm one of the I'm Stream Daddy. We were talking about that before the game and how it's. Anyway, I help run things here at Chromatic Chimera. I am the DM of one of our other big persistent games, Steam Spell. We had a great episode on the Wednesday, so definitely go back to our VODs, catch that if you are super into like party bonding and characters with super huge deep backstories, and just it's really cool. It's a really cool concept that I think we're pulling off really well, so it's definitely worth checking out. I'm in a bunch of other games here, like Elsewhere, Agora's Bells. It's going to be discussed. This game will be back next week, so that's fun.
Hey.
And we got a sponsorship with Tabletop Loot, so 50% off your dice purchases. The code is SHIELDMOM, all lowercase. When you're checking out, put that in the promo thing, and you'll be good to go. And then I've got things in the works, so just keep your eyes peeled.
Hi, I'm Chris. Obviously, I DM this game. I'm a co-founder here with Alex. I also help run stuff. I run Agora's Bells, so this Wednesday upcoming is Agora's Bells, and some of these fine folks are in it as well. We are going to be doing I guess it's a vampire fight. They're called Ill-Fated. They kind of use vampire stat blocks, kind of not. So come on by. They're half fae, half vampires. It's going to be a time. Yeah, hopefully the Wrong Turns don't have an ill fate. I also play in Elsewhere and Steam Spell. I play some stupid, lovable dudes. What else I do? That's about it. Oh, we have Honey Heist stuff. That's been announced, right? Or am I plugging this for the first time?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you want to talk
I
about that?
just
Go
totally
ahead.
forgot to say anything. Yeah, because I didn't see it on my own personal calendar. Yeah, Tuesday. This coming Tuesday, the 28th at 7 p.m. I'm going to be running a Honey Heist game with most of the cast of Agora's Bells. We will unfortunately be down our good friend Kate, but everybody else in the cast is going to be there. It's going to be I guess, arguably in canon Honey Heist, because it is happening during the backdrop of an episode that already aired back in like August. So come check it out. It's gonna be ridiculous. The Wrong Turns might make a bit of a cameo in the background at some point.
Yes, I love those.
Here for it, can't wait. I'll be in that as well. I think Alex will be too. So yeah, you can come hang out. That's the next time you can catch me at least. But thanks for hanging out. Really enjoyed the session tonight. You guys picked up on a lot of things that I'm really happy that were softly put enough, but not too ham-handed. So yeah, we will catch you next Friday or before then. So thanks for hanging out, everybody. Have a good night.
Jenna, bye.
Bye.